Welcome everyone. Today we're joined by Maddens.
What's up, everybody? Where am I going? Where am I looking? This one? What's up, everybody? How we doing?
A teacher with a great passion for space, consciousness, history,
Yeah,
UFOs,
definitely.
all that
I think the
stuff.
list is shorter of things I'm not interested in.
Okay,
Just I love knowing stuff. It's so much fun.
nice.
So much fun.
Can I ask you, who are you outside the classroom?
Um, Actually, I think I learned really quick in my career that you gotta be yourself in the classroom. If you put on a persona, if you put on, I mean, it's important to keep like a line between your students and your friends. That's very important. But there's nothing more honest in the world than a teenager. So if
Yeah.
you're not who you are in the classroom, they're gonna sniff that out like a pig that sniffles out truffles, or like a dog that's like a hunting dog. They're gonna know it immediately. So I think me in the classroom is fairly similar to me outside the classroom.
Okay,
I'm a
nice.
very curious person. Um, I'm also, yeah, ADD as fuck. Can I swear? Am I allowed to
Yeah,
swear? Can I say
that's
bad words?
okay.
I'm ADD as fuck because I'll be um like, the one thing I need in the world the most is structure, but the thing I hate the most is people who put a structure on me.
Yeah,
So I'm constantly trying to figure out doing as much as possible, but not going too far, staying curious, staying respectful to the people around me, trying to be open to other thought patterns, trying not to get too stuck in who I am and what I think is the right way, kind of trying to listen to all the inputs a little
yeah.
bit. And I think you can immediately tell based on my answer that there's so many things that I want to say, but it's always hard to filter what needs to come out
Okay,
first.
yeah.
And that's been my whole life. That's been
That's
my
nice
whole
because
life.
that's also honest, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the most important. I think these days, not to immediately get too into the weeds with it, but especially with social media and stuff, everybody is so focused on curating what they project out into the world. They're so focused on what is everybody going to see
Mm,
instead of who am I.
yeah,
So I think it's important that sometimes we reflect on who we are, and once everything there is kind of in order, you're gonna project calm and confidence and all the rest. But you can't put things out, like you can't build a house starting from the outside. You have to start with the foundation,
exactly.
and then you put up the walls, and then you put up all the stuff in the middle. But you got to get yourself sorted out first before you start projecting shit out
Yeah,
into the world.
that's well said.
So, yeah. Wow, we got into it immediately, huh?
Yeah,
Not a
that's
no
okay.
talking about the weather or the football scores. No, it's immediately like
And
yeah.
where did your curiosity begin?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've always, as far as I can remember, I've always wanted to figure out how things work. I've always asked why just like one too many times. Like in class, whenever we'd be talking about something that interests me, I'd always have my hand up for like one more question. So the teacher would always have to say, it's like, hey, Peter, like, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we got to keep going with the class. Like, we got to move on.
Mm.
Um, I remember being like 5 or 6 years old when I lived in the States, like late 90s peak America,
Wow,
like the golden era.
nice.
Bill Clinton was president, everything was flowing nicely. And had like the classic experience where you go to the mall, you sit on Santa's lap at the mall, like
Wow.
classic. And I remember Santa Claus asking me, it's like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like a 5-year-old kid, like as tall as somebody's knee. And I'm like, I want a Lego model of the Saturn V rocket that we went to the moon with. And I remember Santa Claus looking at me, looking at my parents, and my dad being like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. And then I got, like, for Christmas, I got the space shuttle. And I remember being disappointed. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This is the space shuttle. I asked for the Saturn V, but okay, all right. I'll be happy with what I got. I'll be thankful with what I got. But I was always interested in like the Apollo programs, the moon landings. Like the Titanic was I was obsessed with the Titanic when I was younger. Anything like in my bath, the only thing I would play with was like little boats and like pretend constantly like the Titanic is sinking and all this stuff. Um, so I was always a very curious kid. I would always pick stuff up, look at it, see how it's going. My knees were always scuffed up. I always had dirty fingernails because I was just picking stuff up all the time. So I've always been a curious person
Wow.
since I was young. Yeah.
And did you live there for a long time in the States?
The first time, the first time was 5 years. So we moved there when I was 3 years old. And my first life years were in Venezuela. So I lived in
Wow.
Venezuela when I was 3 months old. We moved there. We were there when Hugo Chavez did his coup.
Okay.
We were just in house, and South Americans love to light off fireworks for any occasion. And my parents thought it's like, oh, it's another party going on somewhere, but it was actual guns being fired off because Hugo Chavez's coup was slightly violent. Um, so spent 3 years in Venezuela, and then we moved to the States the first time when I was 3 years old. That's where I learned my English. That's where the accent kind of comes from. That's why a lot of people think I'm American, even though I'm not American.
Okay.
Especially these days. I'm like, I'm not American, I promise. Um, and then the second time was when with college was 3.5 years. So I spent a small 10 years of my life
Wow.
living in the States.
In which part?
New York. Yeah,
Wow.
I actually learned how to read and write, and then I finished college within the same organization. It's called Iona, and it's
Okay.
run by Irish Catholic brothers, like the
Hmm.
guys with like the white little
Yeah.
thing from Iona was an island off the coast of the UK, and it was like when the entire European continent was falling into the Dark Ages. There was like a small island of a couple monks and a couple priests that kept the scripture alive. They kept the language alive. They kept speaking Latin with each other, so nobody forgot Latin in the meantime. So they had kind of held on to all the knowledge that then caused like this second spread of Christianity throughout the world.
Okay.
Um, and so that's where. So it was just outside of New York in a town called New Rochelle.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's for you the biggest difference living in the States and then living here in
Oh,
Belgium,
yeah. Tough
Europe?
question. Tough question. Because when I lived in the States, both times I was pretty ignorant. The first time you're just a little kid, you're living through, you're unaware of what's going on around you. So I remember like very like stereotypical Stranger Things type of United States, like
Wow.
kids on their bikes riding through the
Yeah.
park, going to your neighbor's house to go play basketball, going to like the community pool, and everybody's going to the pool together. Um, so that was like I said, I was fairly ignorant about what was going on at that time in the States. And then the second time it was college, and college is the same thing. You're coming out of high school, you think you know everything,
Mm.
but then you quickly realize you know absolutely nothing. Which I think a lot of people in their early 20s kind of tend to do. Like you become a teenager, you're the last years in high school, you're like, I'm the boss of this bitch, and you think I know everything. But in the end, you realize that you're just as ignorant as you were when you were 5 years old. Um, but I think the biggest difference between the States and here is survival of the fittest, I guess. The American dream is
Yeah.
very egocentric. It's like, I'm going to take care of me and those immediately around me, and all the rest, it's not my problem,
Yeah.
which I can respect to a
Hmm.
certain extent. But then on the other hand, here in Belgium, which I've kind of learned to appreciate a little bit more, is more like, let me live my life. I'm going to
Mm.
let you live your life, and
Okay.
we're going to try and get there together.
Yeah.
But don't bother me too much. I'm not going to bother you too much. We're going to help each other when we can. But the rest, let's just go in the same direction, but kind of let each other do our own thing.
Okay.
But still having this idea of we're in it together, like we're
Mm.
all stuck in it together.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of been lost in the American way.
Okay. And do you miss it living there?
Yeah, it's so funny. My wife asked me this exact question like yesterday or the day before. I miss I miss when I lived there. I don't miss living there.
Okay.
I miss the times that I had, like especially as a kid in the States. You're 5, 6, 7 years old in the '90s United States, which is just it's freedom through and through. I miss the college years because you're in college. You
Mm.
go to a house party, you end up waking up somewhere in like some dude in some frat house bathroom or something because you went a little bit too hard or whatever. Um, but yeah, I miss the times that I lived there, not so much where I lived.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And was there one moment in your life that changed how you see reality?
Ooh, yeah. Damn, good question. There's a couple. There's definitely a couple. I think really for me, the first time that I really realized like, whoa, there's bad people in the world was the Oklahoma City bombing in United
Yeah.
States in 95 or
Hmm.
96. Timothy McVeigh parked a truck full of ammonium nitrate in front of like a federal building and just blew the shit out of it.
Wow.
And I remember because my dad would always read the newspaper. My dad comes from a very intellectual family, like almost a little bit too intellectual. But I remember seeing the newspapers and I remember seeing all that coming through and being like, why do people do this to each
Mm.
other? Why is this a thing? That was the first one. Um, then there was it's only bad things. There was 9/11 was one as well that
Wow.
really for me really brought this whole thing. It's like, oh yeah, shit, like there's a whole other way
Mm.
of seeing the world than what we've been told our entire lives, especially in the Western world.
Yeah.
You're kind of brought up with this Western exceptionalism thing, like look at everything we've done in the world. How can we not be the best? And you just accept that when you're growing up. You accept that because you're living in this bubble, and
Yeah.
then you start growing up and you start realizing it's like, oh wait, the way that we live is only because we suppress
Mm.
such a massive part of the other parts of the world. So that for me was really kind of figuring out, yeah, how everything that I've been taught my entire life compared to how it actually is. And then living in Africa was another one. Being confronted again with that bubble,
Mm.
with the fact that like, you go to Africa, you're going to be living in Africa, you're going to be confronted with poverty, you're going to be confronted with what some people have to do to survive every single day. And even then, when I lived in Tanzania, I lived in my own little bubble, but it was after I moved out of Tanzania and moved back to Belgium and I saw what people were complaining about like over here,
Mm.
that you really realize it's like, okay, wow, I actually have absolutely zero right to complain about anything
Yeah.
because there's so many people that have so much less and are so much happier.
Yeah.
Um,
That's because you
yeah,
experienced it first person, of course.
yeah,
Also.
yeah. Um, but also a part of that is we're going really deep here, but a part of that is guilt from my end
Mm.
because when I was there, I kind of I stayed in my bubble. I
Okay.
didn't try to extend my horizons. I only did it because the school would work with local schools. And, like, of course, when you do these long drives to safari parks, you pass through these villages. You'll be driving in the middle of nowhere, and then suddenly there's like 6 huts next to the road where like 5 families spend their entire
Mm.
life living in these small places.
Wow.
And you just drive right by it and you go, oh, yeah, that's pretty bad. And then you just keep going. But then afterwards, realizing it's like I could have so easily done so much more.
Mm.
Even though my parents told me all the time, it's like, why don't you volunteer? Why don't you do this? And in the time, like you're a teenager, you're ignorant, you're very egocentric because
Yeah.
that's what you are as a teenager.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, looking back at it, realizing it's like, okay, I'm gonna be thankful for every single day because it could all go away just like that. It
Exactly.
could be gone
Yeah.
immediately. Immediately.
And what fascinates you the most today?
Damn. Like in terms of like stuff that I like learning about or just in general,
Yeah, in general.
the inevitable slide into fascism that's happening
Okay.
throughout the entire world. That we're going back to a very, even not because that word is so overused. Everybody uses fascism immediately as this one word. But for me, what I find very fascinating is the slide or the shift back to a conservative mindset. We've gone from this accept everybody for who they are, try and do good for each other, live for everybody. We're all now going back to like you got to watch out for yourself because
Mm.
nobody else is going to take care of you. So care only about you and those immediately around you and fuck all the rest.
Wow.
And I'm having a very hard time with that because I see it with a lot of my students. I see how passively it's happening.
Mm.
There's not like an active move of the kids being like, yeah, I'm going to go for that. It's just like, yeah, that's how it is. That's what it is.
They accept it.
They accept it.
Yeah.
I don't think they even recognize that there's an alternative. I see kids of mine, and again, not to immediately get too much into the weeds of mine, but I've heard students of mine say, if my son ever comes to me and says that he's gay, I'm going to have failed as a father.
Wow.
And I find that really fucking hard because it's I've seen so many people in life be rejected by the ones they love for a whole bunch of different reasons. But there is nothing worse than being shoved to the side by people who are important to you for something that you have no choice over.
Exactly.
Where you come from, who you are, or who you love, which sky person that you love the most, or which god that you adhere to. I've seen people be rejected for things they have no choice in, and I find that really hard, that a lot of the kids these days, or just the world in general, is sliding to this conservative mindset of like, just take care of yourself and all the rest is not important. And it's being fed. It's being constantly pushed. Like, you got to look out for you. Nobody else is going to take care of you. And once that fear is there, you saw it with COVID. It's so stupid, but you saw it with COVID and the toilet paper. Once everybody thinks there's going to be no more toilet paper left, everybody's going to grab as much toilet paper as they can and fuck all the rest. It's not important because I need mine, because there's no guarantee that everybody else is going to take care of theirs. And that's what I find the hardest, is there's no more trust.
Is it because people are getting less conscious, or?
Yes, but I feel like it's less conscious. I almost feel like people are so conscious from a base point that we realize that everybody is just improvising. Back in the day, there was a standard. Even if you didn't think it or you didn't do it to their face, there was a standard acceptance of authority. Teachers, police officers, governments, parents, religious leaders, there was an automatic like, oh, he's in that position, so he's done something right. I'm going to trust what he says, or at least I'm going to tell him that I trust what he says. But these days, because everybody is showing their showing like their private parts is maybe the wrong word, but they're showing behind the scenes. Like everybody is like, every artist, every politician is like, show me how real you are. But once everybody realizes that everybody else is improvising, it's like, oh wait, I can do whatever the fuck I want and nobody is gonna actually do anything. We see it with Trump, and I see it with my students. A lot of my students, and Trump as well, but a lot of my students realize that if they say no long enough, there's actually nothing at the end. Like, oh, you showed up to school late too many times, you have detention. And some kids go, no, careful, if you don't come to detention, you're gonna have 2 detentions. No, I'm good, all good. And as long as you're not violent, or as long as you don't destroy or damage anything, at the end of the run, there's nothing that can actually be done. Same thing with Trump. Since 2016, how many times have we said, he can't do that? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Now with this whole red card business with the game with Belgium, it's like, wait, a president called FIFA and said, hey, do you want to review that decision really quick? You just want to have, and everybody's like, wait, you can't do that. And then Trump just goes, oh, I did already. Whoops.
It stays unpunished.
Yeah. And I think that's what's causing a lot of it, is a lot of people realize that at the end of the line, authority is just, it's like money. As long as enough people believe that person has authority, that's where the authority is going to be. It doesn't matter how qualified, how smart, how intelligent, how schooled they are. As long as enough people believe that that's where the authority lies, that's where the sovereignty lies, that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be.
It makes me think about back in the time when Bush lied about the emails about Iraq.
Yeah,
And
weapons
they
of
bombed
mass destruction.
a lot of innocent people.
Yeah, definitely.
It was all lies, and he never got punished.
Nope.
Until today. He
Nope.
never got
Nope.
punished.
3 million dead on a lie.
And nobody bats an eye about it.
Nothing.
Nobody.
But even take it even further back, Vietnam.
Yeah, wow.
Vietnam, the whole reason the United States went into Vietnam was based on a lie.
Hmm.
They're like, our ship got attacked in the Bay of Tonkin. No, that never happened. And it's not like some conspiracy. It's like this never happened. It's like, no, this is known fact. It
Yeah.
never actually happened. The USS Maddox was a boat. It's like, oh, we're getting shot by North Vietnamese. It's like, okay, let's send 50,000 troops across the world to die on a hill somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere, Vietnam. For
Yeah.
what? For nothing. For absolutely nothing.
Was that about the same time people got like they refused to go to the war? It was
Yeah.
like LSD or something.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
got
all of
like
that.
more conscious and they
Yeah.
said, "I don't want to fight." Was it the same?
Counterculture. Yeah,
Yeah.
same time. Same time. Because in the beginning, everybody was still coming off of World War II and like the Korean War. There was still, it's like, oh, we're the USA. We have this. And it goes back, you can bring it back to like colonialism. They called it the white man's burden. It's like, look how good we are and look how bad they have it. It's our job as these superior white people to go over there and tell them what culture is,
Wow.
which is absolute bullshit because
Mhm.
our culture, the place we are now, is pure fucking luck. It's
Mhm.
just pure luck that there is just this one thing that kind of shows up somewhere, and then suddenly it's like, oh, now we're superior. No, we've been here for 300 years. You look at some societies like the Ottomans or the Persians, like in Iran, Persia's been around for thousands of years. Belgium isn't even 200 years old, and we somehow have the balls to say we're better than somebody else. No, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people are starting to realize now. Is like, wait, that's not this. Nothing of what we've been told is true. Yeah,
Does it change something? Like people knowing that's all fake, that's not true.
it will.
It will
It
eventually.
will. Yeah, I like to see everything. And now, like, because I see it here in like these mandalas and all these pictures
Mhm.
and stuff, like sacred geometry, it plays into that. Everything is frequency,
Yeah.
from matter to light to sound to galaxies and universes and even like atoms, and think everything is up and down.
Yeah.
Everything. It's just how close do you bring that up and down? It becomes light, it becomes matter, it becomes reality, it becomes a galaxy, it becomes an
Exactly.
atom. It's all this.
Yeah.
And you see that in society, you see it in like places, there's like a constant, it's like a pendulum, it's constant shift
Mm.
from east to west, and then it goes to the south, and then it goes north, and it goes, it's like breathing almost. And you have the same thing. It's like there's this surge of Homo sapiens that come out of Africa, and then it kind of it's like slime mold. You ever seen those videos of slime mold? If it kind of like pushes out and then it decides a direction, then it pushes out
Yeah.
and then it goes in a direction.
Exactly.
And humanity is the same thing. It goes out and then it kind of settles, and then it goes out and then it kind of settles again. And now we're in this period where it kind of all shifted to the west, and now it's all starting to crumble here a little bit, and now the shift is slowly starting to happen to the east. And I think the next big shift, because China and Japan and all those places cannot support the shift of modernization or industrialization that's going to go there, I think the next big place is going to be Africa.
Yeah.
Look at Nigeria, look at Kenya, look at Ethiopia, look at Burkina Faso, like these places that are really starting to kind of recognize the mistakes that the West has made,
Yeah.
and kind of look at it, and it's like, wait, we can skip all of that and we can just go to the next place. If Congo can figure out their shit tomorrow and sort of hold off all of these Chinese and Norwegian and American people that are coming there, Congo could rule the world tomorrow. Congo could be the center of the world tomorrow.
Wow.
Positive. But yeah.
Is there where your fascination comes from? Giving history classes?
Also, I've always loved telling stories about things from the past, like trying to make things that are hard to understand for people, trying to make them easy for people to understand. So I've always wanted to be a teacher. Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Wow.
The one main thing that kind of shifted for me was you can't just tell stories and expect kids to be interested in it.
Mm.
You have to try and figure out a way to spark their enthusiasm so they come to you to ask for the stories instead of you just telling the stories.
Yeah.
Because if their soul isn't open, or their brain or their mind isn't open to receiving that information, it's not going to get in there no matter how good you can tell that story or how funny you are or how good you can change that information. You got to ignite that spark with them first before you can start giving them that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which books or people influenced you the most?
I brought a couple.
Yeah.
I brought a couple of
Show them.
books. I'm gonna start with this one. Even though this
Okay.
wasn't the first book, can I show it here? Can you guys see that? The History of Nearly Everything. A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. This wasn't the first book that sparked interest for me, but it's one that does it in a way that I've never read anything else before.
Wow.
And it really starts with the beginning. Like, it starts with what we think is the Big Bang, and then it goes through to like, what is science today? Who were the major scientists? Where did it all come from? But the part that for me is the most interesting is that it really digs into time and how much time has passed and how little time we actually spend on Earth. That was the ultimate mind fuck for me, because that's where everything just kind of goes, oh, wait, shit, we are a fart in a hurricane.
Yeah.
We are just this little,
Literally.
and it's gone.
Yeah.
But the universe has been here for anywhere between 20 to 40 billion years, as far as we know. And where we've been here for maybe 60,000, 70,000 years, which is nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
So Bill Bryson is one of them. Graham Hancock is another one.
Wow, my favorite.
And this one is, I have a very love-hate relationship with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love his ideas. I love the questions that he asks, but I hate how cocky he is. He's so convinced that he's right, that anybody who dares question him, he immediately sees them as like, why are you questioning me? Obviously I'm right. Look at all my data. Obviously I'm right. Stop questioning me. And that's not science. That's not history. You have to be able to be open to those requests. You have to be open, and you have to accept that people are going to question you. And if your answer to that is, how dare you question me? Then that immediately for me goes, tone it down a little bit. Talk. Have a conversation with people, because your attitude is knocking away people who have spent their entire life researching these things, looking at these things. And if you can't talk to them and can't get them into your thing, you're just going to stand in the corner of the wall, in the corner of the room, and talk into the corner instead of talking into the room. And you have to talk into the room.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think it's also maybe because of the way they approached him? Like, a lot of scientists or archaeologues didn't like wanted to listen to him or attack him on a certain way. Do you also think it's like emotionally attached to
Also, definitely, because the scientists are also cocky.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the Egyptologists, if you even dare ask them, it's like, hey, have you considered that maybe, you're wrong? They also go like, no, how dare you question me? Don't you question me. And that's so dumb, because there's so many interesting things that we can look at. Nobody has any answers. Nobody has any of the answers. And that was one of the things I wanted to like, I was trying to figure out how I can word that best. But there was this stupid video that I saw on TikTok of this guy who's interviewing somebody on the street. And he goes, there's a difference between knowledge and belief. There's things that you believe and there's things that you know. And the things you know, you don't have to believe because you know them.
Yeah.
But to believe something is leaving room for doubt. Because if you don't believe something that you know, you believe something that you believe.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that difference. You can believe in something with all your heart. You can believe in something going, I believe in that. But if you believe something, you don't know it. And that's the same thing with history. Something as stupid or something as easy as the pyramids. We can look at the pyramids and go, holy shit.
Yeah.
Look at everything that we see here, all the evidence, everything that we found. This is all the stuff we know. But even if you puzzle all of that together, there's so much that we don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
And that leaves room for belief. And that's beautiful, because it's like with art. You look at a piece of art, you can look at it and go, what do I know? Okay, I see what's been drawn. I see what I can see. But you don't know what the artist wanted to get forward. You don't know what they were going through at that time. You don't know what every single person who looks at that piece of art, how they're going to interact with that piece of art. And I think it's the same with history. It's the same with science. Every single person is going to interact differently with the stuff we know, and they're going to create their own beliefs. Exactly. And that's beautiful. That's nature.
Of course. Yeah.
every single flower out there, you can look at it. In general, they're going to look the same.
Yeah.
But you look at every single individual one, it all has their own individual traits.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And we can't deny that. You can't start shitting on somebody else just because they have a different belief.
Yeah. That's all. That has always been something that fascinated me so much. The pyramids, like, there's so much we don't know about it. Like, did you also saw the newest discoveries on the pyramids about the pictures they took with LiDAR?
Yeah, the
Eamon,
scans
yeah,
underneath.
can you pull up the picture, please?
Jamie, pull that up. Yeah. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Oh, you got it prepared and everything. Damn. Also, huge shout out. Huge shout out to Ismail and the whole crew here. I had a very specific request and they got it for me. So
you're welcome.
Top quality production. Yeah, dude, absolutely. And again, this is the same thing between what we know and what we think and or what we believe. Like, we can look at this and this is what we know. Like, we see these scans, we see these things, but we have no idea. We don't know what this means.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting, isn't it? It's so crazy.
They stopped every investigation now.
Yeah.
Is it the... I don't know. I don't remember his name, but he said nobody's allowed anymore to get closer to the pyramid.
It's the main Egyptologist, right?
Yeah.
What's his name again? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I do. I know who you're talking about.
I think he also came on the podcast with Joe Rogan.
Definitely possible. Definitely possible. But see, he's also one of the guys, like, he's such a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
He holds on to everything and he doesn't want to release any of it, which I find too bad.
Yeah. It's strange that he's the only one who has, like, a say in this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's on Earth, so everybody should be free to investigate it.
Definitely.
It's better for us also.
Yeah, definitely.
To discover, I don't know.
Definitely.
Hidden secrets, I don't know.
And then you have, like, these crazy fuckers that just take a whole bunch of dynamite and they're just like, I'm just going to blow a hole in the thing.
Really?
You never heard about that?
No.
The big main pyramid in the middle, there was a guy, I think in the 1800s, late 17, early 1800s. He's just like, oh, just take dynamite. Let's just blow a hole in it. We just blow into it like we do into mines.
No.
Can you look something up, Emanito? Can you just look up, like, dynamite hole pyramids of Giza?
But did it happen?
Yeah, it happened. This was way early in the beginning. It's just old school here, and it's like a hole. You see it in the side of the thing here.
Holy shit.
It just blew a hole into the side of the fucking pyramid, just being like, hey, we don't need to just blow it up. Let's just put a hole in the thing. We'll get deep enough.
In what year was that?
I'm not sure. I don't know it by heart. It'll be in there somewhere. But it was in the old school, back in the day. It was in the old school ways of doing science.
Yeah, that's just straight up destroying
ancient
stuff.
Of course. But it's like also when people start, like, panicking that if we ever get abducted by aliens that they're going to start, like, poking us or ripping our arms off or something, we do the exact same thing.
That's crazy.
The exact same thing. Does it say it? No, it doesn't say it. Oh, here, 1837. In 1837, the English Army officer Howard Vees searched for a southern entrance to the Great Pyramid by using dynamite to blast a hole into it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just the old school way. It's old school way of doing science.
And how do you think they build them? Like, do you have a theory about it?
That's the fun part. That's the fun part.
Do you think it's possible today to re-engineer something like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
100% is. It 100% is. I have a friend of mine who's an actual stonemason. Like, he's actual, like, part of, like, the Masons, like, the secret society. Like, he's actually part of it. And there are, like, certain, like, rituals that they do, but it's nothing major. It's nothing sciencey. It's just like a group of guys that get together and they learn a whole bunch of, like, ancient techniques of carving out stones and stuff.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people underestimate. Hang on, again, there's two paths here.
Mm-hmm.
What we know and what we believe.
Yeah.
We know that there are, 2 to 3 million stones per pyramid. Yeah. They are aligned within centimeters. Both the stars, but also just if you stack that many stones on top of each other, they have to be perfect, or you get to the top and they're not going to be stacked properly. Mm-hmm. I think we severely underestimate how scientifically powerful old societies were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these guys, they're basing themselves off again, hundreds of years of knowledge and science and history and mathematics. Like we look at the theory of Pythagoras.
Yeah.
Pythagoras is not the guy that invented that theory. It was a guy from the Middle East. It was a guy in Baghdad or something like that.
Okay.
Baghdad used to be the center of science and mathematics.
I didn't know that.
These are all guys that have known these for hundreds of years. They knew these things. They knew how to cut the stones. They knew how to move them. And they can do it. Like, they can definitely do it. Doesn't mean that it's not incredibly astounding to move these blocks from where they came to where they were, and then stacking them the way that they did. But I do think it's possible.
Do you think they used like a sort of new technology like vibration, levitating stuff?
Yeah, again, belief and knowledge. I do believe that they had access to technology that we don't know that they did.
Ah, okay.
Think about it like when like they said it also on Joe Rogan's podcast. I think when he's talking about it, he's like, yeah, well, the only way we can move these stones these days is with these massive Caterpillar, like these pneumatic trucks and whatever.
Yeah.
It's because we can't possibly think of another way of doing it because that's how we do it. But it's the same with math. You look at like the calculator. Before they put calculators in math classes, kids were able to do insane calculations, but with their mind, just like brain math.
Yeah.
Once we put calculators into the class, yeah, kids were doing like 3 + 5 on a calculator because they were too quick to just do it on the calculator. But now we're learning calculus in high school. The level of math that we were able to learn was so much more, even though you hand over the basics to something else. And I think it's the same with like these backhoes and these Caterpillars and these big trucks, these big dump trucks that we would use to build something like that these days. It's because that's the calculator. Look at the things that we build these days are insane, like the internet, phones, absolutely ridiculous. The technology that goes into that.
Yeah.
But because we take these pyramids and we take like the old school way of building, we take that for granted.
Yeah.
For me, what's even more impressive than the pyramids are the Aztec and Maya constructions in Peru and Ecuador. Those are, for me, 10 times more interesting because they are irregular shapes.
Ah, okay.
You look at the pyramids, they're blocks.
Yeah.
You can go to a quarry, even if it's insanely astounding, and it's absolutely ridiculous, the precision that they use to build these things, absolutely insane. But you can go to a quarry, you can take a measurement down to a millimeter, and you can cut that stone out, and you can make them nice. And even if you send them 100 kilometers down the Nile, or up the Nile, somewhere else, and then stack them there, insane.
Yeah.
But it's a whole other story to do it with blocks that are not the same shape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you look at the Mayans, you look at the Aztecs, and this is the part that's even crazier, and that's this one right here. They weren't the ones that built it. The Aztecs and the Mayans were not the ones that built the buildings that they lived in. They discovered them. They found them. The only Mayan emperor, the only Mayan king, emperor, who wanted to build one like that, he got one block out of a quarry, hauled it like 100 kilometers somewhere else, and something like 60 guys died in the process of hauling this one block because he wanted to try and rebuild these palaces that they were living in, these structures that they were living in, but they never actually built them. There's again, I'm no expert. I'm just an insanely impassionate, passive knowledge person about this, so I might be completely wrong, but they weren't the ones that built it. They found them.
To come back on the pyramids,
yeah,
they moved the blocks, I think around, it was really far, right?
Really far.
Do you think they had like sort of transport?
Yeah, it's called slaves.
They
just
pulled them.
Hundreds of thousands of people just haul. Even if it is like, it could have been vibrations. It could have been building canals and waterways and floating the rocks to somewhere else, which is like, there's theories that said like they just built waterways and just moved these blocks up because buoyancy, like, it helps. But I think you underestimate how powerful having 100 or 200,000 people can be.
Yeah. Like,
you look at the armies that used to be fielded, like the Battle of Cannae or even the Battle of Waterloo, or even like we live in Weizsätte, like we're in Weizsätte here. You look at the First World War, you see what these guys built around here in just 4 years. take 100,000 people working around the clock for 24 years, you'll be able to build something like this. I think people underestimate that. But it is fun to think about the fact that, like, okay, well, you know, maybe they had vibrations. Maybe they had some form of transportation. Maybe they had engines. Who knows? Maybe they had internal combustion engines. We don't know.
Would they have like another type of energy?
That's something I think that we also either have forgotten or maybe we know it and we use it differently. But I think once you start, you feel it at concerts or just even like a subwoofer, like just like a good, like a boom, boom, or you hear like thunder. If you're close to where thunder has been, there's a vibration there that goes straight through you.
Yeah.
Straight through you.
Incredible.
You look at the Saturn V rocket, like the rocket that we used to go to the moon, and now you have like the Starship, like Elon Musk or SpaceX's, like the big rocket. Those things are so loud that if you take a regular natural stone, like not concrete or not some composite, but you take a natural stone and you put it close to where it is, there's a good chance that that stone is just going to fall apart because of the vibrations. Not even the heat, but just like the shaking of it, it just shakes it all apart. And I think there's something there, because like you look at these guys in places, you see it a lot coming out of like Vietnam or the Philippines or Myanmar, like these guys who put pylons into the ground. Like you take like a piece of metal and then they put a T-bar on top of it, and you take like 6 guys and they all like dance at the same time. How fast that thing sinks into the ground. Same here with like, I don't know how you call it, but like a klopboog, like when you put like a drill to go into the wall. It's not just the turning, but it's also like a hitting
hammer drill.
Hammer drill. It does the same thing, and I think it's not impossible that it's something similar to that. Like if you get, I don't know how you would do it, but if you get something along the path that's like slowly vibrating it, I think you could easily push something across.
Sounds logic.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Was it Einstein who said, if you want to discover the secrets of the universe, you need to think in energy and vibration?
Definitely possible. Definitely possible. But it is true. Yeah. It's definitely true.
Crazy.
It's definitely true.
Like when you were talking about the subwoofers. Yeah. I saw a video on YouTube, the guy who was blasting in his car, like with a huge subwoofer, a whole lot of batteries, and his car door was like... soft. It came soft. It was opening and closing without breaking, without bending. It looks crazy.
It is. There's also this video from an Oasis concert in 2005, I think it was, where you see the crowd, or like Woodstock 99, the Korn concert of Woodstock 99, where the crowd just becomes a fluid. The crowd becomes a liquid. Like you see waves just moving through the crowd. Have you ever been in a mosh pit?
No, never.
Like a pogo or like a wall of death or something?
Did you?
Yeah, I've been in a few and I've started a few. And sometimes you see it there as well. Like when you're in it, the crowd is moving and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. You can want to go somewhere else, not going to happen.
It's impossible.
The crowd is just moving and you are just a part of this crowd and there's nothing you can do. And I think it's similar with that, with vibrations, with once you take a whole bunch of something and you just shimmy it just enough, you can create something else. Yeah. You can move stuff with sound. You can move stuff with light. Yeah. Look at like solar sails. Solar sails in space. Wow. You open up like a sail and purely just the light coming off of the sun transports you or can move you forward. I think there's somewhere in there's a little bit of knowledge that's either been lost or it's been hidden and taken by certain people to be used for them and nobody else. Yeah. You heard about the earthquakes in Area 51 last week? No. Like 14 earthquakes in a 24-hour period around Area 51. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe, maybe they're operating or working on something else. Who knows? Wow. Who knows? When they went to go kidnap Maduro in Venezuela, did you read about like the soldiers, like his security guards, what they dealt with? No. Sonic weapons.
Ah, yeah, I remember.
Where they're just standing there, they see a helicopter coming in, they see 9 Marines drop to the ground, they see, and then suddenly they're just crippled. They can't do anything. They just lose and they fall down and they start vomiting and they didn't see anything, they didn't hear anything.
It's like a sci-fi movie.
Definitely.
I think there's a lot of stuff we don't know
Hell yeah.
they have in Area
Hell yeah.
51
Hell yeah.
NASA.
It also, I think it like, if you think about it, like my dad told me this once as well. It's like, think how often a parent, for good or for worse, think how often a parent lies to his kid. How often a parent says, it's like, oh yeah, no, we can't do that because, you know, there's something there, or careful, Santa Claus, you know, like a parent lies so often to their kid just for their, like, just to keep it calm or best will, or just, you know. I think as a government, especially a powerful government or one that has access to a lot of powerful things, whether it's weaponry or technology or whatever, I think they have to keep a certain level of secrecy just so that people don't lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Because if you know that the government has access to a weapon that can cripple you just because it shoots sound at you, people are going to lose their mind. They're going to lose their shit. So I think they have to, but also knowing that those secrets are kept by people who are also just improvising every day. They don't know anymore. They just have a little bit more access to a little bit more information that we don't. So, yeah.
Because if you look at that way, like, for example, Wi-Fi, everybody does like it's something normal, you know? It's wireless, you don't see it.
Yeah.
But you can send like movies.
Yeah.
You can download stuff in a couple of seconds. So if Yeah, it's
absolutely insane. Also, just like like CPUs. Have you ever looked at the process of how they do that?
No, never.
There's 2 machines in the whole world, in the entire world. There's 2 machines that can build all of the CPUs that we make.
Whoa.
There's one in the Netherlands and one in Leuven. And they take, I might be wrong here, but I was listening to a whole podcast about like where this comes from. They're grown. You grow these computer chips. You take a piece of lead, like a drop of lead. You drop it down and you shoot at it with 2 lasers. And these lasers are shooting multiple hundreds of times a second. And they hit this little piece of lead, they just hit it with one laser, it vaporizes it, and then that vapor is hit with another laser and knocks a couple of electrons onto like a sheet.
What?
That sheet is then like pulled out of like a liquid, and then you have a cone. And this cone is your CPUs. But they're grown. They're not built. They're grown from vaporized lead droplets shot by lasers and then pulled out. And then from this cone, then they slice thin wafers. And each one of those wafers is a CPU. So when you go like Intel i5 or i6, it's just like the quality of where on the cone that they sliced off that CPU, because that's where they get the technology from.
Incredible.
So when you're talking about impacting reality, impacting, energy vibrations, we're dealing with supercomputers in our pockets that are manipulating atomic levels of the smallest things just so we can watch a stupid video while we're taking a shit. Just like, oh, cool. But you look at the technology that is behind it all. It's insane. It's insane.
It's almost impossible to grasp it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know Bob Lazar, of course.
Hell yeah. Bobby. Dude, he was a pimp.
Wow. His story.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Absolutely insane.
Incredible.
Absolutely
Do you believe
insane.
every part of it?
I believe a solid 60% of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's so much.
Because he was right about a lot of things now.
Yeah, definitely.
When you go back.
Definitely. There's, no, it's not true. There's more than 60% of his story that's already been proven, so that's definitely true. I think his story has been so poked at, has been so analyzed, has been so completely torn apart and looked at, and it has never changed.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never overly massively profited from it.
Yeah.
He could have turned it into a Netflix show. He could have sold the drawings of the sports model. He could have sold millions of these, and he never did.
No, and it's also incredible how he didn't have any interest in UFOs. Never.
No.
So when he talks about it, it's like,
yeah,
it's not like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, his eyes sparkle when he's talking about it, you know?
Definitely. And it's almost like he doesn't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Once people start asking, he's like, okay, yeah, all right, I'll tell you the story because you've been asking for it, but I mean, just only because you're asking for it. But I love the idea of the fact that we're in contact with multiple races, both ones that we can perceive and ones that we cannot perceive because they exist outside of our perception abilities. And I think I love the idea, like his whole story about the sports model, like that it's hovering at 0, and then there's no acceleration. It just goes from 0 to 30,000 kilometers an hour, and then it just goes straight up. There's no, like an airplane, you're used to an airplane kind of like it pulls up and then it does this, but this is just standing still, moving and up. And it's just doing things that we can't, that we don't know.
And also, if, for example, if we could build something like that, and you accelerate from 0 to 30,000 miles an hour, you're dead. Your insides are like
immediately. G-forces.
Yeah.
But that's like the whole thing of the sports model, is that like it creates a space inside where you're not dealing with like the physics stay the same inside of it, and outside you manipulate everything. And that's something like we don't realize. We do that every day. We do that when we're sitting in a car. We're doing the same thing. Everything outside is moving slightly slower. Because you're moving forward inside the car. And you see that so often. Like you take a drone. And you put a drone in your car, and while you're driving, you put it up and then you put it back down.
It stays.
For you, it's just done this. But the person who's looking at it, they see it do this.
Exactly.
And I think it's the same thing with these sports models or these UFOs or these crafts that we've seen. Because your nephew Naeem had a very interesting story about a UFO that he's seen in these parts around here somewhere. Have you seen that? Have you seen it?
That's crazy. Yeah.
That part, can you tell me about? I know that like you're asking me the questions, but can I ask you as well?
Of course.
Like what did you see? What did you see? What was the thing that?
So we were outside. Like it's a couple of months ago. We were talking, looking up to the stars, and suddenly we see like. I thought it was a star. So it was accelerating, and then it stopped. And we was like, "What? That's not a star." And then it zigzagged. It was like shoo, shoo, shoo. But like in a glimpse, like really fast. Then it like accelerated again, and it was like almost hitting another star, and then it did like shoo. It went around it, and then it disappeared like shoo, like no image. That's crazy.
Weird.
While we're talking about that, last week we were sitting here at the front of the house. It was 1:30 in the night, just having a regular conversation outside. I was having my back against the field, and my two nephews were talking to me, so they were looking straight to the field, the cornfield. And suddenly, while we were conversating, they start screaming both. Like, "Wow, easy!" They call, "What's that?" I turn around, and the only thing I saw was like an orange flash going away. I didn't saw anything, but he explained me it was like a ball of fire. Like red, but without the fire around it. And it was like going horizontally above the cornfield. And then it disappeared. But it was like not far away. It was like maybe 500 meters away. And then like they were like really shocked. "What's that?" They were like shaking, and I was like calming them down. "No, it's okay. It's nothing." And then a couple of days later, my nephew found the same video online, but with 2 orbs.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think I have. Eamon, can you pull it up, please? It's pretty impressive. It's like.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's on I think it's on the desktop in the file.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's not this one.
Oh, that was weird too. Yeah, that was so weird. It made me feel uncomfortable.
It's the other one. It's this one. Exactly the same.
Oh shit.
Exactly the same.
Shit.
Did you ever saw that footage?
I've seen a whole bunch, not this one specifically, but I've the only thing that I've never seen something insane, but I remember in when I had my first job, it was in Tournai,
Mm-hmm.
And it was also after we went out one night. And I remember also, like, I also love just like looking up at the stars, and especially in the springtime, you see Jupiter and Venus are really awesome, and I just love looking up. And it was kind of, it wasn't anything insane. Like, it wasn't like, whoa, what the fuck is that? But if you look up long enough, you're gonna see like a satellite passing over.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a normal
in a straight line.
Right.
Exactly.
The Starlink was pretty intense too, and it was like the 60, like the train.
The train, yeah.
Awesome. I loved that. But it was really weird. It was two of them. And normally, like, Starlink moves behind each other.
Yeah.
But this was this was before Starlink. This was in 2015, maybe 2014, 2015, and it was two of them moving next to each other, like parallel. And I thought, okay, maybe that's two planes or whatever. But then they just switched position. Like, as they're moving, they just kind of, and then they kept going. And I remember telling my friends, like, dude, look at, like, they had already switched. And I'm like, look at those two. And my friend's like, yeah, it's just a satellite. I'm like, no, look, there's two of them next to each other. And by the time he had seen it, it was gone already. Yeah. But that was also so weird because you're so used to seeing things in the sky that then, like, especially once it like moved, once they moved, it's really weird. But it's so random that here in Weitschaten, that there's like UFO activity.
Yeah, and that, I don't know if it's UFO. Maybe it's some type of, I don't know what it is, what it could be. But the strangest thing I had was last year. I was taking a piss here outside. You know, I live like, there's no buildings around my house. You saw it. It's like,
it's gorgeous. Yeah.
It's only like cornfields, potato fields. So I was taking a piss there last year in August. And it was also like almost night. It was like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I was looking straight forward and I felt a rare sensation. Like, you know, the sensation when somebody is hiding but looking at you?
Yeah.
I felt that.
Ooh.
And immediately...
There was some chills.
Yeah, immediately I said in myself, and I said it loud, I say, it's okay, you can show yourself. I wasn't scared at all. Immediately, like 150 meters away, above, there's a light... an orb, a white one.
Ooh,
and he was like flashing at me. It was like he had it felt like he had some type of a flashlight, but a huge one. It was flashing at me.
Ooh.
And I was yelling my wife, I said, you need to come outside now, fast. And I was looking straight at it and it disappeared. It was like disintegrating and like nothing. And that's not the craziest story. So
shit.
Like 2 years ago, I went to Peru. To the Amazon with my wife to do some ayahuasca ceremonies.
Yeah.
But before we reach there, you need to like take two separate planes.
Yeah.
Then you take a really small boat down the river, the Amazon River, like 8 hours, something like that. And I remember my wife said, hey, we can camp out on this part of it was like not an island, but like a piece of land next to the river with a couple of palm trees. And I was like, serious? You want to stay a night there? Yeah, because we can stay 1 night, 2 nights there. And then the other day, the boat will pick us up and we continue to the Shipibo village. I say, okay, if you want to. I remember the captain saying, are you sure? Because there's a lot of strange things happening here. People missing and stuff. And I was like, okay, maybe he's exaggerating. Yeah. So, and at that time, I didn't believe in aliens and nothing because I was always like a skeptic about it. I thought, okay, it's from America, stories,
classic.
You know, UFOs, Hollywood. So we camp out, we put our hang mats. It's like 4:35, 6-ish. It gets dark. So we hang our hang mat, we lie in it, but the mosquitoes, because there was a crazy amount of mosquitoes around. And so it's night. I say, okay, let's sleep. And she was hanging next to me, you know, 2 hang mats. But it was impossible for me to see her. I only saw her hang mat next to me. She was like half a meter away from me. Suddenly in the night, I wake up by a vibrating, super loud sound, like... And my heart was beating in my throat. I was like, what is this? I open my eyes and my whole body is frozen. I can't move.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I remember the sound was coming from my right.
Yeah.
And I felt an object. I didn't see it. I couldn't move my head. I was frozen. And I remember that moment, I was like, I was repeating in myself, like, don't take me. I'm not ready. I want to see my family again. And I was like, 10 minutes, around 10 minutes it took.
Damn.
And after it went away, then I heard the vibrations going away, like from.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, Virginia," and she said, "Shut up."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." And we waited like an hour more.
Yeah.
Then daylight was coming, and I said, "Hey, are you awake?" She said, "Yeah." And she said, "Did you also felt that?" And I
Ooh, okay,
said,
so she felt it too. Shit.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were shook.
Whoa.
It's not to brag, but I'm never scared.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in ghosts. You know,
Yeah.
it's that type
Yeah,
of
of course.
shit. So she was like, "We need to pack our stuff
Yeah.
and get the fuck out of here." And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. We were waiting
Get
on
outta
it. We were waiting. The boat. It was like, let's get out of here. I remember when the captain took us, he was like, "Everything good?" And I was like, "No, I was telling the whole story."
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, but that's normal." And I don't remember the name. He called it like Pukunawabi or something. He
Ooh,
said,
so it
"No,
had a name. Yeah, okay.
we know it. They're
Yeah.
from the river."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"They're from the river?"
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But until today, I still feel like a little bit deceived in myself
Yeah.
because I wanted so hard to look at it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, to see it. Yeah.
it's like a question mark now.
Yeah,
you know?
of course. But I think, like, don't you think that maybe because you then came here and you've seen all this shit around here, that it was kind of like testing you a little bit to see? Because also, like, it's really interesting. The first thought that comes through your mind is like, don't take me, I want to see my family.
Yeah, that was immediately.
And maybe it's like a rite of passage. Like, they're gonna be like the apple with Adam and Eve. It's like, here, you look at this. Do you want this? And your first instinct is like, no, I want to be here for. And they're like, okay, he's a real one. Guys, show him a little bit, and then they're just kind of like teasing you a little bit. It's like, look over here, look over here. You think maybe there's something there that kind of
It could be.
that maybe it was like they helped you, because that's something, and he talks about it in Graham Hancock talks about it a lot as well. Is a lot of societies around the world, like a lot of civilizations around the world, especially the oldest ones that can take their roots all the way back. They talk about like, they call it like big people. So we've kind of taken that as like physically big, but maybe big in like intellect or like knowledge as well, that then bring knowledge down to them and show them like agriculture, show them basic laws, show them all these things. There's so many societies around the world that share those same stories. Like the flood of Noah, like the world flood, like there's so many societies that share that same story.
And in different parts of the world.
Yeah, that had zero contact with each other. Or like one that I really enjoy as well is like the Viking runes on the ground of the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. So that shows that there were either Vikings or people with enough knowledge about Vikings that they knew their language. They're going to go carve it in the ground of one of the most like important buildings in Christian and in Muslim lore. I totally think it's possible, seeing how violent humanity is now, that maybe we wiped each other out by accident once through something, and all that was left was like these small uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, in the Siberian tundra, in in the North Pole and stuff. And then the few survivors, like imagine there's a nuclear holocaust. Everything has gone to shit, and we just start, like, just you and your family or whatever, like 3 or 4 people, and you start heading south as far as you can go. And you go past the Sahara, you go through Congo, you go down to like, you come in like Zimbabwe or whatever, and all that, and you come into contact with like this random little tribe in the middle of the forest. You go there, you survive, but after a couple of years, you have all this knowledge of like laws and maybe basic like you live in the fields here, you have a basic idea of how to farm, how to do agriculture, and you tell them that story, they start doing that, and then it leaves again. But then they keep telling that story as like, yo, dude, we were sitting here, suddenly this white dude shows up. He has like this idea of like how to do laws and agriculture, and he showed that to us. And then we passed that knowledge. Like there's so many of those things that could have happened in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's super interesting that you had that experience. I'm jealous. Like I'm honestly, the amount of times I've looked up at the stars and been like, show yourself, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Also. So you're asking.
Yeah,
contact.
definitely.
Nice.
But I think maybe because I'm a little bit too open for it, they're like, no, he's not ready. He's not ready. He's just sitting there being like, just fucking show me already.
Show yourself.
Like, he's not ready. He's not ready. You know? It's totally possible. It's totally possible.
Hey, Benito, can we take a break?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect, thanks. Um, Peter, I want to take you back on, you know, ayahuasca ceremonies.
Yeah.
I did some in Peru. I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
share
Sure.
my story
Hell yeah.
because my interest, my
Mhm.
fascination began with Graham Hancock.
Mhm.
I saw his documentary about ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was talking about all those tribes,
Yeah. Yeah.
like using the same plants, doing
Yep.
the same ceremonies.
Yep.
So my
Yep.
wife immediately said, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Hold your horses."
Yeah. Your wife's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that she's okay with that
Yeah,
shit. That's pretty awesome.
she's really open because she's
Yeah.
also from South America,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Venezuela.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So she's really into that, all the mystic
Yeah.
stuff.
Is her
So
family okay with everything, the earthquakes and shit from the last couple
yeah,
days and stuff? Yeah.
thank God. Yeah,
Thankfully. Okay.
everybody's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so when we went there, I told you about the two airplane trips, the
Yeah.
boat,
Yeah.
the
The
crazy.
vibrations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So then we reached the Shipibos.
Mhm.
It's like a not a lost civilization, but like a
Tribe.
tribe.
Yeah.
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 They talk Shipibo and a little bit of Spanish sometimes,
Mhm.
so it's kind of difficult to communicate with them
Yeah.
because it was a place where they don't do normally touristic ceremonies. It's
Yeah.
like really something local.
Of
So
course.
we stayed there a month and
Sacred too. Yeah.
we got to know the whole family, the
Yeah.
Shipibo family.
Yeah.
And then our shaman, Mama Olinda, she said, "Okay, do you guys want to work with plants? Do you want to?" We
Mhm.
said, "Yeah, we want to try it."
Mhm.
So first of all, she explained us you need to do like a cleansing,
Cleansing, a fast. Yeah.
a fast, exactly. 2 weeks before,
Yeah.
no phone, there's no electricity, so that was no problem.
Yeah.
And then the first night, we get together in a maloca. It's like
Yeah.
a huge wooden
Mhm.
tipi kind of tent,
Mhm.
and so you have the three shamans in front of you. They give you the shamanic brew.
Mhm.
You drink it, and they tell you, okay, try to find a connection with the plant.
Mhm.
But for me, it was something like, okay, what's the connection
Yeah.
with the plant?
Because it's like a little bit first, right? It's
Yeah,
not the full dose, or
exactly.
is it? Yeah. Right.
It's
Right.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So the first night I drink it, they start singing Icaros.
Mhm.
That's like healing songs,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
vibrations.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
When you hear it, it remembers you something. It remembers you like a home. It's like
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
strange, yeah.
It's
But
almost like like the comfort you feel when you smell like burning fire.
exactly
Like
that.
there's something inside of you that goes, oh, that's safety, that's comfort.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Palo Santo.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So the night starts 8 o'clock in the night. We drink it. It's dark outside.
Mhm.
You hear the animals, the
Mhm.
1,000 types of
So
different
loud.
animals.
So
Yeah,
loud. Yeah.
and I remember on my left there was an American guy,
Mhm.
Derek. He also went here. He visited us like a month ago or something.
Nice.
But I didn't know him that day. He was like a little bit closed.
Yeah.
He had like issues,
Yeah.
personal issues.
Yeah.
That's why he was there.
Yeah.
So we drink it. An hour later, nothing. An hour and a half, I start meditating, nothing.
Mhm.
And suddenly I hear my wife on my right side starting to laugh. She's speaking,
Mhm.
crying. And I'm like, damn, what's happening? You know, there's
Yeah.
nothing happening with me.
Yeah.
Next day, we wake up. She tells me that crazy story. She met entities, people teaching her stuff about life, about love. And I
Whoa.
was like,
Yeah.
why didn't I
Yeah.
saw that? Why?
Yeah.
I was like, there's something wrong with me or so
Yeah.
the second night, again, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna drink 2 big shots of it. I
Mhm.
drink 2 shots, nothing. 2 hours later, nothing. I start vomiting
Oh yeah.
because I drank too much.
Of course.
Vomiting, but no visuals,
Yeah.
no feelings, nothing.
All the work, none of the pleasure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, the same. My wife, crazy, crazy experience, you
Oh, yeah,
know?
fuck,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna stop. It's too heavy. I
Yeah,
feel
right.
like.
Of course.
So I went talking with Mama Olinda. She told me, what was your intention when you came here?
Huge part.
Huge
Yeah.
part,
The
exactly.
intention. Yeah.
And I was like, to be honest, it was to show my wife that this is not real.
Yeah.
You know, she
Yeah.
said, that's where it starts. You
Yeah.
didn't believe
I'm
in
a
it?
skeptic. But
Exactly.
you even said it earlier, like all the UFO stuff. You were a skeptic. You're just
Exactly.
like, it's not real. Yeah.
And then she said, you know what? Try another night.
Mhm.
But this time, open your mind, your heart, meditate. It's the first time in my life I meditated like 8 hours straight in my cabin.
Yeah.
Looking straight forward, the animals, closing my eyes, repeating a mantra. I was like, I will open my heart. I look for connection with the nature. So we get again to the Maloka around 8 o'clock in the night. And this time I said, you know what? I'm going to drink only the half of a cup because I vomited the night before. I was like, I'm not going to vomit again. Just a little. Give me a little shot.
And it's violent vomiting.
Yeah.
It's violent.
Wow. It's like almost dying.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's like a muddy
of course.
brew.
Yeah.
So the night comes, I drink it, and I sit straight. I was like, okay, yoga position, let's meditate, open my heart, repeating the mantras. It's 12 o'clock in the night.
Yeah.
Still nothing. I hear my wife laughing, talking. I was like, please.
She's on night 3 of this, like.
I was like, please, show me. And suddenly around 12:30, I remember, I feel like drowning into the ground, like not drowning, but like, you know,
settling.
Yeah, settling. And I'm like, I open my eyes, bam. I'm in this crazy spirit world.
Whoa.
I see all those plants next to me with like a face, a humanoid face, but it's like always changing. It's like morphing.
Yeah.
And they're like, finally you made it. You know, it gives me goosebumps still thinking about it. It was like, look, we're here. You found the way, the path. Let's show you what your real power is. And I feel my heart opening up and I start crying. I'm seeing how my love from my parents towards me, my sisters, I see like a whole flashback of my whole life, and they're like sitting next to me and like saying, you see what happened there, and that's why you felt this. And I was like, wow. And then they told me, now we're gonna unleash your power. And I feel my heart opening, boom. And I feel that energy rushing through my body, my veins, it was like, and the energy was sparkling off my body and connecting with all those beings next to me.
Yeah.
And I saw beautiful stories about animals loving each other, taking care of each other, families, like the whole world. It was like compressed in a beautiful movie with a lot of insights.
Yeah.
So I woke up and I didn't talk for one day.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. I went to my cabin. I was taking notes about. I still got them. It's like a whole book with the whole story in it. I was so thankful that I wouldn't even want to talk about it because it was so precious. Exactly. It was like, wow. And I was talking with Mama Olinda, the shamans. I was like, thank you for your work. And we did it like 10 nights in a row. And it was every night something different story, different lectures, different insights.
That's intense to do that 10 days in a row. And it's still like small amounts.
Yeah,
You're still
small.
not doing
No,
the mother.
not exactly.
Okay.
Because my fault was like not respecting the plant in a way.
Of course.
So I knew it only needed a little bit, and then it's like a download from the plant. It opens you and you connect with it.
Yeah.
But that changed my whole life. I came back and I was like more loving. Maybe not more loving, but more understanding. But also at the same time more loving, because I understood everyone got his story, his life, empathy. You got your truth, I got mine, but both can be true at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, people need to know about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because for me, it was something woo-woo, you know? Made up stories.
Of course. Just drugs. People are just like seeing things. Like it's just hijacking your brain. Yeah, totally.
And the craziest part is it's not like a high you get.
Yeah, no.
It's like you're inside your heart and all the filters, like you said outside, the filters are flushed away.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I needed quite a bit of time to back into society, you know? Also the phone, that's something really strange. I couldn't like hold my phone. It was like it's something bad. It felt like it want to take my attention. Evil. It felt like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I needed like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to come back to.
Of course. Yeah.
But it's like Graham Hancock said. He said a beautiful phrase. Every president or every king in the world,
dude,
they should take like 7-8 ceremonies of ayahuasca.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they can opt for that position.
Either that or go around the moon.
Yeah.
Either you do something like that, like do an earth medicine, or take a rocket ship and go way out there and come all the way back.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to lead people, that's what you have to do first. You have to recognize how small, fragile, insignificant our physical space is.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's the same at like a concert. If you go to a concert of like it doesn't matter how big the band is, but if you're there with a few thousand people, same with a football match. If you're at a place with a few thousand people and you share in one singular experience all together at the same time, there is something that happens there that you feel. It's like, whoa, fuck. Yeah. We are so much, and we think of ourselves as so big. Like, we think we know everything. Yeah. We think we're like, look at everything we've done. Look at what we can do. Mm-hmm. But once you've been through an experience like that, like either a spiritual or an earth medicine or like a collective thing, or also fear, once you've really experienced true, actual fear, I think that's, yeah. Especially because I wanted to say the same thing. Like, if you're going to lead people, you have to have experienced the greater thing first before you get lost in your own personal ambitions.
Exactly. That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always remember every ceremony, every trip I made there, mm-hmm. they always remembered me, you're part of something bigger.
Definitely.
And that makes you like, it's like a weight going off your shoulders. Yeah. It's like, wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'm maybe that small, a little particle in the world, but I'm helping, you know, the bigger scene of things.
You're the universe experiencing itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All the atoms in our body have been parts of stars, have been cosmic dust somewhere. It's just right now, really quick, just all comes together, and then it's just, then it's gonna disappear back into everything else.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your take on those entities? Like, who are they? Like, what is the purpose? Like, are they aliens or are they?
I love the Bill Bryson book talks about it a little bit, especially in the beginning. If you look at what we can perceive, like our reality is 3 spatial dimensions and 1 temporal dimension. So we have width, height, and depth. Those are the 3. And we move through those 3 spatial dimensions through the 4th dimension, which is time, but we only experience that in one direction. If you look at modern physics, whether it's, you know, string theory or general relativity or whatever, even goes basic as basic as our 4 dimensions, there are more dimensions than just those 4. We know that because you look at the basic building blocks of reality, like the gluons and the muons, the tiniest little particles that make up the building blocks of everything that we perceive to be true. They behave in a way that is impossible in only 4 dimensions. There has to be at least 5 or 6 for them to behave the way that they do.
Yeah.
You, at the beginning or before we started, you talked about like Schrodinger's cat, or the observation principle.
Yeah. Can you explain that?
Sure. So Schrodinger's cat, like it's kind of in pop culture now, but the theory behind it, it's to kind of visualize quantum uncertainties. So if you take a cat and you put a cat in a box, and in that box you put a small little vial of poison, and that cat is or can be both alive and dead at the same time, but you don't know until you open the box.
Yeah.
It's the same with, and it was the same thing that you said, like the double slit experiment. Like you just take a laser and you point it through a single slit or 2 slits. Light behaves as both a particle and as waves at the same time, which ties in nicely to what we said earlier. Like if you're in a crowd of people that is so compact together that just the crowd starts to move as a whole, once you start looking at like it's gonna be both until you decide it's gonna be one thing or the other.
And who decides?
The observer.
The observer, okay.
Whatever is looking at the situation, think about like the future. If you have 2 choices, you have a fork in the road, you go left or you go right. If you decide to go left, cool, you go left. But once you start thinking about the possibility of, oh, maybe I went to the right, there is the possibility that there's a whole other set of molecules, atoms, whatever reality is, that did go right. But you decided to go left, so you're observing the whole going left.
Yeah.
Now, if you go even just into the fifth dimension, whatever it is, however you get there, if you could access the fifth dimension, time, the fourth dimension that we only experience in one direction, it becomes a spatial dimension. So like we can move left, right, up, down through this space. Time exists here as well.
Yeah.
So everything for us that is beginning or end, it exists just like going left or going right exists.
Yeah.
So when we start talking about like the beginning of time, that's stupid because you're never going to be like, where does left start? Where does right start? There's no starting point until you say, this is the starting point, this is the ending point.
Yeah.
And it's the same with time. We only experience it in one direction and we go, okay, here's a beginning point. We don't know when there's an ending point, but we decide like, here's the limits. If we could get into even just one dimension up into the fifth dimension, or even just like colors, like a moth can see millions more colors than we can. What's the chances that they're going to see things, entities or structures or reality that we can't see just because it has a different color than what we can perceive?
Yeah.
So when we start talking about entities, there's an awesome theory about that. It was a guy called Fourmi. It's called the Fourmi theory. And it talks about ants, but it's not Fourmi as in the ant, it's Fourmi as in his last name.
Yeah.
It says we can look at ants. Ants make antibiotics. Ants have highways. Ants build their colony to have neighborhoods. They have manufacturing neighborhood. They have temperature control. They have highways. They have manufacturing, infrastructure, living. They make medicine. They fight wars. Ants are insane. But you're never going to try and have a conversation with an ant.
Yeah.
Because you know he's not going to be able to talk back to you.
Yeah.
And I'm so convinced, and this is what I believe, I don't know this, but I believe this, that there are beings, entities, things that exist that look at us and go, well, look at what they're doing. Wow, that's so cool. But I'm not even going to try and talk with that thing because it's never going to be able to have a conversation back with me. But then you look at like bees, for example. Bees can recognize each other. They have a sense of self. Bees can learn basic arithmetic. They can do 1 + 1 = 2. Bees can do that. We can teach bees to do things that we can do, and there's a basic communication there. We do that with knowledge or with tests or with like certain experiments. I'm 100% positive that there are certain, and it's again in nature, no pills, no powders, but things like ayahuasca, things like magic mushrooms, things like cactus, you know, like mescaline, all these things. I'm 100% positive that nature has these things that once we put them in our brain, there's pathways in our brain that open up that small little part that lets us access those other creatures, beings, whatever you want to call them, energies, whatever it is, that allows us to kind of open up that part of our brain a little bit.
So does it open like a dimension, maybe?
I think so. I think you could call it that. You could call it that. The one that I find the most interesting is like, imagine you take a two-dimensional being, like you have a piece of paper and you draw a person on that piece of paper. If you put your finger on that piece of paper, it's only going to be a circle.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to see the whole being that's putting its finger on that piece of paper.
Yeah.
I think if we then take certain molecules, certain compounds that exist in nature, maybe it then allows our perception to vibrate just a little bit differently, that allows us to interact with other frequencies, other colors, other sounds, other dimensions. But it's so hard to put that into words because words are so limiting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just the clicks and whistles we make with the hole
just
in our
sounds.
face. We can't possibly begin to describe, like, how do you describe to a two-dimensional being that 3 dimensions exist? You can't do that.
No.
It's only going to experience those two. You can say as much as you want, like, oh yeah, but it goes up and out. Like, sure, it's not going to understand
No.
because it doesn't have that framework
Yeah.
to operate how it is.
Exactly. It's like explaining to a baby mathematics, you know,
Exactly.
it's impossible.
Exactly.
What you said about vibrations,
Yeah.
that's crazy because when I was out there in Peru,
Mm-hmm.
I also smoked DMT.
Mm-hmm.
That's like you can drink the plant or you can
Yeah.
smoke it. They
Yeah.
take an extract from it and you
Yeah.
smoke it.
Yeah. And your body makes it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it makes it around in the night when you're dreaming. Is it
Ooh, there's a
possible?
whole finish your story. I'll get
Okay.
to it in a second.
Okay,
There's a whole
perfect.
part there that is just so fucking crazy. Yeah.
Okay. So about the vibrations, I
Yeah.
remember when I smoked it,
Mhm.
it's just one inhalation.
Mm-hmm.
You open your eyes, a snap, you're in another world.
Yeah.
And it's like they're welcoming you. It's always the same. Hi, welcome. We were waiting for you.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
huh? And you're trying to understand. Like, it's
Mhm.
like when somebody wakes you up from a deep sleep
Yeah.
and they are talking, yeah, we need to go to that place. And you're like, where am I?
Give me a second.
What's happening?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
know that you're coming, but you don't know that you were on the way there. And the craziest thing is, when I get out of it, it only takes around 10 minutes max. I start singing alone, like humming, and it went automatically. It's like, and I remember why I did that. When I was humming, I was trying to elevate again that vibration in my body, and I could like make it last a little bit longer. It was like, but then it faded away. So what you were saying about vibrations, it opens something up, I think.
Definitely. Because it's also the part that fucked me up, and I've never done DMT before. If I could ever have the opportunity to do it within like a safe space, maybe
in a hospital or something.
Yeah, or somewhere a little bit more comfortable, because hospitals freak me out.
Oh yeah,
scary as fuck.
I get what
There's also a whole nother. I need to write things down.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm just gonna try and just remind me or try and remember later, like the friend of mine who studied these things, because he had a really interesting take on it. But
if you want, Moche, sorry, there's a pen and paper in the first drawer on the left. De tweede schuif.
Yeah, cool.
Met een papiertje. Yeah.
There's again, it's ADHD. I have so many things that I want to add to this, but the one really funny anecdote about DMT is a couple of weeks ago or a couple months ago, in a cave, I want to say in Turkey, or maybe it was in like Colorado, like the Western United States, or maybe even in Appalachia, like in Pennsylvania, East Coast United States, like the oldest mountain range in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same mountain range as the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. Like it's the same mountains, which is just crazy. They found a bone pipe. Awesome. Thanks, Mocha. They found a bone pipe.
Wow.
A puma bone. And in that bone, they found the remnants of DMT.
Whoa. This
bone is so old that it is before our first historical record of humans wearing pants.
Wow.
So we were smoking these things, we were taking in these compounds before we had pants.
Oh.
So it's so interconnected with who we are. There's a fantastic video of a puma in the Amazon eating the leaves that they use in the ayahuasca brewing ceremony.
Wow.
And this thing is tripping balls.
Wow.
It eats the things and then it's just on the ground and it's just looking up and around.
Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dolphins will play with pufferfish to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Deer eat magic mushrooms, and this goes a step further. They eat magic mushrooms, but that itself doesn't make them trip. They piss it out, and then they drink the piss, and then they trip on that.
Wow.
Because the psilocybin has been processed, and then it's active in the urine. So animals and even kids, like little kids, will spin around really, really quick for 5 seconds of like, whoa. So looking to alter your consciousness is a part of being alive.
Yeah.
Like it's a part of being alive. DMT exists in all living creatures. The grass outside and the humans mowing the grass and the birds flying overhead, they all create and make DMT. It's all in there. Wow. Dimethyltryptamine, if you want to say it with a full word. We as humans, we make DMT at a few points in our life. We make it when we're born. We make it a solid month after we're born. We make it when we dream, and we make it when we die.
Wow.
DMT is the reason we dream. The reason we have dreams is because of DMT. Now, and this might, I might be completely wrong here, but I remember this somehow that I read it somewhere. So we make it when we're born, and about 30 days after we're born, our brain floods completely with DMT a second time. And you look at, again, I might be completely wrong here, but you look at Buddhist traditions, when the soul enters the body happens about a month after we're born.
Wow.
That's also around the same point that babies are going to start opening their eyes and recognizing things around them. Because a newborn baby, it's going to be there, it's going to open its eyes, it's going to look around a little bit, but you see it's not really there yet. It sleeps a lot. It grows up a little bit, and about a month afterwards, then your brain floods the second time, and that's when the soul comes into the body.
Okay.
Then when you die, and it's so interesting that you say that about that feeling of being welcome, because every single person that has had a near-death experience talks about that feeling.
Wow.
There's a feeling of welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We've been waiting for you, man. Welcome. And that comforts me so much. Like, I'm so scared of the process of dying, but I'm not afraid of being dead because I've been dead longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with it's the transition of going from this into that space that scares the living hell out of me. Because it might be painful, it might be scary, it might be like we live in Weizsätte, like you live in Weizsätte, we're here in a place where I think if you look at the amount of people that have died per square meter, I think here in Weizsätte is one of the most in the world.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of death that has happened in the fields around here is insane. And those guys, every single one of them lived their last moments in absolute terror.
Agony, yeah.
So I think there's a comfort there knowing that there's this place where once we're not here anymore, we go to a place where it's like, welcome back, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
That gives me comfort. And it's so interesting that you mentioned that same feeling. Did you interact with the same beings? Did you recognize some of them when you went back?
When I was in Peru, it was always with the same beings.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But when I think I smoked like 11 times DMT there. A couple of times I saw the same entities. Then I saw some other small, like alienish entities who want to bring your presents. They have like presents in their hands. They bring it to you.
Yeah.
I saw that a couple of times also. The last time was like this world, but like in a white, huge space, almost cloudish, with like a lot of people of light, you know? I saw their face and I could feel their love, but it was also different. It was not the same like before.
Yeah.
But before all of those experiences, before I went to Peru, you were talking about being afraid of dying. I also had that because I had people in my life dying because of a sickness, cancer or something. And it made me a lot like scared. I don't want to die. What happened? You know, I thought after I die, it will be black hole.
Yeah.
But after I did this in Peru and the DMT smoking, it took that completely away.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid because I know 1000% we are going there.
Yeah.
Because it feels home.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like, imagine you have your family and you die, you wake up there, they will be with you there.
Yeah.
You feel the love from them. It's like they're always attached to you.
Yeah.
So that's also crazy.
Yeah, it's also, did you see that thing like they were doing a brain scan on a guy who had a stroke? Like they had him hooked up to an EKG machine, and while he's hooked up on the machine, he dies.
No, I didn't saw that.
So they were able to record like the moment that you die on like an EKG.
Okay.
And the brain in like the last 30 seconds before it knocks out, it's more active than when you're awake and conscious and ready to go. There's also this moment, and maybe because you've dealt with people who have been sick, or maybe people who get a little bit older or have been going through, the moment before they die, they're back to being their old self. They're back to being lucid. It's the same thing that makes mothers lift cars off of their babies, makes people cut off their hands. That last final burst of the body being like, we're just going to give it our all one more time.
Wow.
I think especially people that are in like that final stage before they die, I think it's the brain kind of preparing itself opening it up in a way that we usually do with these compounds
Mm-hmm.
that open it up and allow to kind of access into that other space, wherever it may be. You know, another dimension, another existence, another reality, another whatever you want to call it. But again, it goes from like that 2-dimensional creature into the 3-dimensional space. I think it's the same thing. They're here, they're around us, it's here right now. It impacts us every single day, but we can't perceive it because it exists outside of our ability to experience it.
Exactly. And the strange thing is, when you're there in that world, they don't talk to you. It's like you're connected. It's like you're inside of them, they're inside of you with their energy, and you can't, it's impossible to lie. It's like you read them, they read you, and there's like a conversation.
Of course. Yeah. Which is so crazy because, again, it goes back to what I said right at the beginning. Like, there's nothing more sincere than a teenager. And it goes with the same thing. Like, even if you're not talking to them, just the way you talk, the way you are, people are going to feel that vibe. I have that with my wife. Like, a lot of people say that I have Labrador energy. Like, everybody that I meet is just like, hey, you want to be my friend? Like, we're going to be best friends. I promise. This is going to be great. And then afterwards, like, my wife is the opposite. My wife is like a Doberman. My wife is going to sit back and just kind of look around and be like, I'm going to wait until I trust you. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hang on. Don't push me. Just let me do my thing. I'll come to you once I'm ready. And I trust her so much in that now. Like, once we meet somebody or once something, like we interact with somebody or whatever, if she says, I don't have a good feeling about that person, or I don't have a good feeling, I'm going to trust her 100%. Because I'm just going to, I throw it out there right away. The trust, I start with trust instead of starting with distrust until somebody has earned my trust. And the energy is, it is a thing. People feel that. If they're in tune with that or not, eventually people are going to feel that exact thing. Like you said, it's so interesting. You can't lie because we lie all the time. Even for like small things, just like, oh, I'm on my way, while you're still putting on your shoes.
Exactly,
You know, you're not on your way. You're still putting on your shoes. It's the same with like traffic. We're always going to say, it's like, oh shit, I'm stuck in traffic. You're never going to say, I am the traffic. Because you are. But everybody's like, oh dude, I'm stuck in traffic. Shit. Like, ugh, why did this happen to me? But you're part of it. You can't, you don't exist outside of it. You're part of it. And that's why, and I wrote this down. I have a friend of mine who did a master's thesis in Ayahuasca Society, like the anthropology of ayahuasca. And he said something that was really opened my mind, is every society or every civilization that has existed has a hallucinogenic compound that is linked to it based on how that society exists. You look at, in Southern America, in the Amazon, it's ayahuasca. It's the vines and the leaves. You look at the Western United States, it's cactus, because it's all Arizona, Nevada, it's the cactus. You look at the Appalachia, it's going to be mushrooms. You look at England, it's mushrooms. Here, it's mushrooms. You go down to Africa, it's like, it's or not Africa, but like the Arabian world, it's kat, you know, like the thing that they put in their mouths. And in the West, it's LSD. Because we hang so much importance on the science, on the sterile laboratory. We put so much faith in that. That's where our hallucinogenic compound is. And when he said that, I'm like, holy shit, it's so true. You base it on whatever your civilization or your society deems is important. And out of that comes a hallucinogenic compound where we interact with something that sits higher than that civilization. And it was, for me, it was this moment, it was like, holy shit, it's true. You look at every single society that has ever existed, there is a hallucinogenic compound somewhere in there that they use to get in touch with something that's bigger than the struggle of day-to-day life.
It's also interesting, they call it technology. They call it like a way of communicating, traveling.
Definitely.
Pretty interesting. Another thing, why do you think now UFO is becoming like the topic? Why is everybody talking about it? Why disclosure, the files, the Pentagon files? Why now?
it's funny because I feel like, especially today with all the access we have to filming and to phones and high definition video, that there's no more videos and evidence that's come out. But it is a little bit more prolific now because, again, it comes into that aspect of everybody is sharing everything in their life. So all these stories of things that people have experienced, things that people have seen, things that they've done, we see so much more of it now that the people in power, or the people who have access to maybe a little bit more than the average pleb does, like we do, we're starting to ask a little bit more questions from a standard basic point that they can't deny it anymore. They can't flat out be like, oh no, it's a weather balloon, or it's, you know, swamp gas trapped from Venus or whatever. I think we're starting to ask a whole bunch more questions. Plus, it's so much fun as a distraction.
Yeah.
Like when people are focused on something really important, like now with like the Epstein files or what's happening in Venezuela or whatever, and then they're just like, oh, look over here, UFOs, look here, 2 terabytes of new videos, information, look over here. And everybody's like, ooh, whoa, cool. And in the meantime, they fuck you over a little bit more down here.
Yeah.
But it is, there are things, again, from like way back in the day. There's this one, the one that really astounds me the most is in Nuremberg, I think it was, in Germany in like the 15 or 1600s, where a whole city saw a UFO battle in the sky.
Wow.
Can you pull that up, hey, Manito? Can you type in Nuremberg UFO battle?
Was it like a TikTok form? The size of a TikTok? Like a...
I think there were, but it was also like they saw like N-U-R-E, Nuremberg, E, like a Nuremberg, that one, go down one, and then type in like UFO.
That's a long time ago.
Really, here, this one right here. 1561.
Wow.
People saw arrows in the sky. They saw flashing lights. Some of them came falling out of the sky. They were like shooting things at each other. There were just a whole bunch. See, like a couple of them fell out of the sky. They were like, some of them were crosses. Some of them were like these bars with lights on them and stuff. Oh, an entire city saw this.
They all witnessed it.
All of them.
Wow.
All of them.
That's crazy.
And this is just one of them. Like, there's so many societies that never wrote anything down. Like in Peru as well, there's so many that were like, every day. Every day we see things. 100%.
Yeah,
definitely.
they do like it's something normal.
Of course.
When I told them about my story with the Shipibos, I told to Mama Linda, she said to me, yeah, but it's normal. They come from the water.
That's the craziest part. She's like, yeah, of course. Like, you would, duh.
Yeah.
Like the boat guy even told you, he's like, are you sure you want to stay here? Because there's things that happen sometimes. It's like, no, dude, all good. Don't worry about it. I'm a skeptic. Yeah.
Recently, they saw from satellites underwater a circular ship, the size of, I don't remember which city, but it was huge. Underwater. They captured in 4K.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening?
So many. Yeah, definitely. That's why also, like, with the sports model, like Bob Lazar's sports model and all that shit, there's also, like, this one, they did a whole 60 minutes of it. CBS did a 60 minutes of it, of 4 F-18 pilots. So 2 F-18s with 2 pilots, like a pilot and a co-pilot each, that were flying off of an aircraft carrier. And they noticed something on their radar that was just sitting in the water. And they're flying around it, like, so they're going around it, and they see this thing. It's like, it's a Tic Tac, but it's the size of a school bus.
Wow.
And it's sitting above the water, and the water under it is like, it's all crazy and stuff. It's like broiling water. It's like white and kind of violent. And then, like, as they're flying around it, one guy decides, like, I'm going to go down. I'm going to kind of see. And as he makes the move to go down, it shifts up and looks at him and starts following him around.
Wow.
And then suddenly he's like, I'm looking at it, and suddenly it's gone, but then it's where I am. Like, it didn't come up to where he was. He's like, I'm looking down at it. It's gone from there, and I look up, and it's right next to me.
It teleported, like, just instantly.
Right there.
Wow.
And then they're flying around it, and it's like kind of mimicking his movements. Like, he's kind of trying, and it's not like aggressive, but it's mimicking the movements that he's making. And then suddenly it's gone. Just
disappeared.
Out of there.
Can you pull up a picture from the Bob Lazar sports model?
Yeah. There you go.
There's that guy Luigi, you know, this producer. He made it like in CGI.
Yeah.
You can visit it like with a VR goggles.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The part that I love the most about the sports model, even more than like the shape or the thing, but is the gravity wells, like the 3 things that you see there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Gravity generators. So, did you watch the 3 Body Problem? Did you see that show?
Yeah.
Or read the book?
Yeah.
They talk about a fucking mindfuck. But did you see that like now in the last 3 or 4 months, like 12 scientists have disappeared?
Yeah.
All working with anti-gravity machines.
0 point energy.
Dude. And so this one was based on 0 point energy, like had like the translucent shoebox and everything.
Wow.
Like imagine like a shoebox, translucent shoebox, and it is energy on demand. Like any amount of energy that you want, it exists. Like you can pull it out of this box. I can 100% understand why aliens don't trust humans with that level of power.
Exactly.
Because everything else that they've given us, if you talk about like Wi-Fi, internet, you talk about like atomic research or nuclear capabilities, the first thing we do with it is turn it into a weapon.
Yeah.
Same with AI. It has the ability to revolutionize the fucking world. And the only thing that we can figure out how to do with it is like, oh yeah,
send emails.
Yeah, it's just fucking make it, give it boobs. Yeah, give it, yeah, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Insane. And then you build these massive data centers that use so much water and electricity for nothing. But instead, we could possibly create things like this, like those 3 gravity wells at the middle. It creates a gravity hole. So you're basically just falling into this gravity well that's created in front of you. If you can start manipulating space like that, then distance becomes unimportant. Distance becomes completely irrelevant.
Did you saw with the modular? I think the modular is on there, right? I think it is. Bob Lazar explained that they put like a candle in front of it, and it froze the candle in time.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So the photons, it wasn't moving.
Yeah, it just stops it. Yeah.
So imagine the possibilities.
Yeah, because it's also, and that's something that a lot of people forget as well, is how far apart everything is. Like, things are really, really far apart. But we also forget how much of what we are made of is also just empty space. Imagine, so like, you take a molecule, like say like hydrogen. Hydrogen's the easiest one. You have the nucleus, and around the nucleus you have 1 electron, just one. If I take the nucleus, imagine it's the size of a basketball. How far away do you think that atom, that electron is going to be? How far do you think? You take the center of this molecule is a basketball, so it's about this big. How far away from here, if I put this basketball on the table right here, how far away is that electron? If you had to guess, just random guess.
Like 1,000 miles?
It's about 4 kilometers that way. So that's far. That's really huge, fucking far. If you go from
on that scale.
Yeah.
All
so
right,
you take a
now.
basketball, you put it right here. That first electron is going to be 3 kilometers away. So that's how much of just empty space we are.
Now I understand.
And you look at the same thing. Like if you go to the closest star from us, Alpha Proxima, it's 4 light years away. 4 light years. So you have to go at the speed of light for 4 years to get there. It's impossible.
The speed of light, is it 300,000
kilometers per second?
Per second. 4 years.
4 years. And we can never go that fast.
No.
Because once you start going in that fast, your mass becomes so big that you can't possibly go any faster. So we can never reach the speed of light.
Wow.
But so if you think like when we look at space, we look at the stars and we say, where is everybody? It's impossible to know because we started radio broadcasts. One of the first radio broadcasts that we sent around the world, television broadcasts, was the Berlin Olympics in 1936. That was the first internationally televised sporting event.
1936?
1936.
It's not even 100 years.
Dude, and that sent out into the cosmos not even 100 years ago. So if people are looking in the cosmos, like that hasn't even reached the end of our galaxy yet. You look at the whole Milky Way, it's a disk. The thickness of the disk is 100 light years. Like the thickness, not even the distance, the thickness of the thing is 100 light years. Dude, it's so big. It's so
It's
big.
unimaginable.
We can't possibly fathom how big it all is. And then we're sitting here going, it's like tariffs and fucking, red card in the World Cup. Who cares? Who fucking cares? There's no point in wasting any energy on that. But yeah, it's so much fun to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what do you think, like, how would the future look like now with AI going like at super high speed, exponential?
That's a tough one. I have two, talking about like, observation bias, whatever direction we go in. I have what I hope it will be, and I have what I'm afraid of what it will be.
Okay.
It will probably be somewhere in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
but not in like one smooth path. I think we're going to make a lot of mistakes first, and then we're going to eventually it'll equal itself out.
Yeah.
If that's with technology or whatever, that's a different question. But you look at what it can do. You look at the abilities it has already in terms of medicine, in terms of how much it could streamline of like how we do things.
Mm-hmm.
Like we make enough food to feed 10 billion people. We make enough food every year to feed 10 billion people, which means there's 2 billion people worth of food that just gets thrown away every year for nothing. I think we can streamline so much of that if we gave it to an AI. But the problem is that right now, the tools that we need to use it are in the hands of guys who want nothing else but profit. They just want to make money, which I understand. Like if that's your thing, if you want to make money, if that's your business model, you also have your stresses. You have to survive. You have to keep everything kind of working a little bit. Like the whole Elon Musk is a trillionaire thing, that's a whole other question. I understand why he does what he does. I don't agree with it, but I understand why he does it. But I think the tools that are now, if we could somehow figure out a way to remove the greed of humanity from that, because we're still monkeys.
Yeah.
We're still just primates. The survival instinct is still hardwired into our brain. Like it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning. Once you have the feeling that everybody else is out to get everything, you're going to, that instinct is going to take a hold, and you're going to be like, I need to take this for me because I might not survive. And it's the same with these guys. They have so many plates. They have so many things up in the air to keep their things going that right now their focus is purely on making as much money off of this as possible, which I find so sad because we could liberate so much. So many people go to work every day and actually only work for maybe an hour, and all the rest is just sitting there because they have to.
Yeah.
We have to work to survive. We have to go and give our time to someone else in order to have access to the basics that we need to survive. That's not okay.
And do you think there's like a possibility that they will make it possible, like if AI develops like in the good way, that everybody could live like with a universal income?
Definitely.
Do you see that possible?
100%. Again, I do believe that we could have access to that. I think that we very easily could. Whether it's like cash in hand, universal basic income, or like give everybody what they need to survive, universal basic necessities, we could do that tomorrow. We can. But there's still something in us. There was somebody, and I forget who it was. Somebody asked me, a student of mine asked me, sorry.
It's okay.
What is the difference between left-wing politics and right-wing politics? What's the difference? And I was trying to figure out a nice way to describe that, because I lean a little bit more to the left. The collective is more important than the individual. But I can understand why people lean a little bit more to the right, from like, yourself is your responsibility. Don't rely on anybody else. I can respect that, even though I don't agree with it. But there was something really interesting there that said the left will not feed 1,000 people if it means one person has to starve. And the right will not feed 1,000 people if it means one person doesn't deserve it.
Wow.
And that for me was like, oh shit, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
The left is like, hey, we can't give everybody that. Look, this guy's starving. What are you doing? Look at this guy right here. And the right goes, hey, whoa, he didn't do anything. He can't have that. What? No, wait, let's fix that first. And I think that is still such a huge part in us that we still play this, like we can immediately tomorrow give everybody, all 8 billion of us, we can give them everything they need to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But people are going to be like, hey, wait, he has 3. I only have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have 2 big apples. He has 3 small apples. Hey, what? That's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Or one person goes like, hey, but he, you know what? Like, wait, he doesn't have enough. Like, give him some. That still gets in the way.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, immediately tomorrow, everything, roads, cars, food, education, travel, transport, emissions, everything. We could do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's hard as a collective.
Now.
Yeah. Individually, we're loving, empathetic, emotional creatures, but collectively, we're irrational, stubborn, and violent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Still now.
As a collective. Yeah, definitely.
And do you think if, for example, 5 years from now, 10 years from now with AI and everything going on, do you think it's the next step in evolution? Like now you hear people like they want to fuse with AI.
It's tough. Humans have always tried to live as long as possible. They've tried to attain immortality, tried to, whenever we're sick, we try and make it a little bit longer. You see it as well in retirement homes or people who are sick or have long diseases. Like death, it's not something that we talk about. Like take another pill, have another operation, do another procedure, shove this in your body just for like another year, another 2 years, just make it as long as possible. And it's tough because humans are not meant to live very long. Like we're not supposed to live to 70, 80, 90 years old. It's not natural. And I think part of it is once we see another avenue that we can take to try and achieve that, we're going to try and go as far as possible. Same with Neuralink. Like there's some things that are incredible. Like people who are paralyzed, if you can just put like a little connection in their brainstem that they can move again.
It's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
People who have like cerebral palsy or kids who are born with like polio or with like really bad physical disabilities, that you can somehow like bypass that and still like give them freedom again, like being able to move. Incredible. But again, you look at the people who have access to this the most first are usually the biggest psychopaths of them all, that they don't have empathy, they don't have love. Or if they do have love, it's like this twisted version that's like, I'm not going to give you anything unless you can give something back to me. I think it is inevitable that there will be people who try to do it. Once we have computers that are powerful enough that we can just stick a USB in our forehead and download it onto a computer, people are going to do it immediately, right away. But again, it comes back to it's just trying to simulate what it is to be human. And it's never going to get to that level, or maybe not. There was also a point where they never thought that digital photography was going to be as good as film photography. But now we have, we can film in 16K, even though we can't see any more than 4K.
Yeah.
So I do think it's inevitable. And again, I think there's this whole balance thing. Like we're going to go so far in the wrong direction first before we end up going back to where it should be. But I think it's going to cause a massive divide. It's going to cause a huge split. Like even in music now, there's 60,000 songs a day that get uploaded to Spotify, and about half of them are AI. And then you have like AI bots that listen to it to up the stats, and people get paid for that. Like they get money because they're just like creating this little ecosystem on its own. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to happen, but I think again the wrong people are going to have access to it the most and first. But it is. I mean, it's kind of cool. Yeah. It is kind of cool.
It's cool, that's for sure. Is there like a hidden agenda behind it? Because I remember a long time ago, before AI was at that level that it is today, I don't remember who who said this, but he said like the plan of AI is to make people disbelieve certain truths. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna grab, film some things, put it online, and people
Mm-hmm.
are gonna say, "No, it's AI."
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's already happening.
So that's
It's yeah. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. Like the Romans did it. You know, the Nazis did it. It's just flooding every channel of information with so much bullshit that nobody trusts anything anymore. Like I already have it. I've started kind of talking about it with people close to me that like kind of like a code word that if they get a message from me or if I get a message from them, I'm going to ask them something very specific that has nothing to do with anything that we've done online before, just to make sure that it's actually them.
that it's them. Yeah.
I got a message from my cousin a couple days ago that was really weird. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing this social media ambassador thing. Can you vote for me?" And my first instinct was, "Yeah, of course, dude, 100%. Yeah, you're a musician. You're kind of up and coming. You're exploding. It's awesome, 100%." But it was just in the way that he had phrased it that I was like, "Dude, can I ask you a question?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I'm like, "What's the name of the guy that we did a song with like 5 years ago? You came to my house. What was his name?"
Oh, okay.
And nothing.
Wow.
And then a couple days later, I got a message from my cousin going, "Oh yeah, that was her name. Why are you asking me this?" And I'm just like, scroll back a little bit in your conversation. Look at what you asked me. He's like, "Oh shit, my account got hacked." So he saw the question that I asked him, but the person that had hacked or the program that had hacked it had no answer to that.
Yeah.
But he then answered it to me. So there was like this thing in me that was just kind of like, okay, but you see it now with videos. Like we looked at it earlier, the guy with like on Fox News with like the mask that he was wearing or something.
Can you pull that up, please?
It's the same thing. It's just every channel that we use these days, like whether it's news or TikTok or social media or even like newspapers and stuff, it's just filled with bullshit that the first instinct is distrust. And that's often enough of a reason for people to be like, "I'm not going to follow that anymore as a news source."
Yeah. So you need to change every second. You need to change the code word because your phone is listening. The house
definitely,
is listening.
100%. You need to really have that. Did you watch that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? Oh shit, what was it?
Inception?
No, the most recent one, the one that he did with like the Revolutionary.
Oh yeah, with the Civil Wars.
Yeah. What was that called again? I forget what the name.
I remember the movie. Yeah, with the South American girl.
Yeah. But in that one, he talks about they have that, like they have a series of words where he goes like, "It's this time." It's like, okay, what time is it? And then he can't answer it. So like a whole series of really random sentences that have reply and answer to them, which is classic, classic Revolutionary. Like they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the ways to do it. But with this one, it's the same thing. Like this guy, he's like one of the most trusted. He's done multiple videos, like he's done multiple videos on Fox News talking about a bunch of stuff. But this one was weird because he has like that slit on his neck.
It looks like a mask, right?
Yeah. And even his face touches in on like the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Do you know what the uncanny valley is? Like something that looks familiar, but just not familiar enough that it makes us feel uncomfortable. And
so
I had that with him.
What's the point of all this?
It's distraction.
It's
getting people to distrust the traditional sources of information, that they just distrust everything until somebody comes along and yells just louder than the rest going, "I'm the one you need to believe."
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's with Trump with the fake news. Hitler and Goebbels had the same thing. The Romans had the same thing. Like the Romans here in Gaul, one of the major things that Caesar kept saying for, let's go on another campaign, let's go a little bit further into Gaul, let's go a little bit further, was always the same. It's like, look at all these people in Rome with the braids. Like, look at all the culture, the Roman culture that's being destroyed by the Gauls. We need to go there and take them down one more. It's the same in Israel and Palestine. Every single Israeli is convinced that every single Palestinian wants nothing else but to destroy Israel.
Exactly.
That's not necessarily true. Every Palestinian wants to just survive. Every human wants to just survive. But both the Israelis and the Palestinians are just afraid. And that fear is being exploited again and again and again because we're still We're still monkeys that got a little bit too smart, a little bit too quick. So there's still parts of us that are still like these, fragile little creatures running around the forest trying to survive every day. And once you know how to manipulate that, once you know how to trigger that response, you can do anything. With a group of humans, you can send them in any direction you want.
That's scary because a lot of like the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible how people are so easily tricked.
Yeah.
You know? And
definitely.
that sucks because every country is like giving its own propaganda, its own lies. So it's almost impossible to know like what's really happening. What's the truth?
Yeah. While we're in an era where we can have access to the entire collective knowledge of humanity with the phones in our pockets.
Yeah.
That's why I think there's also such a huge shift to AI, is making sure that people don't own anything anymore, because once they don't own it themselves, you can change the point where it goes out. Like, instead of people taking their own books, their own phones, their own CDs, their own knowledge, they have to go to a place where somebody else is holding on to it first.
Yeah.
You see it with the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. Once Western Rome collapsed and people started not being able to speak Latin anymore, people couldn't read anymore, people couldn't write anymore, people couldn't do math anymore, then the few people that could still read, the few people that still had access to the books, they became the rulers.
Yeah.
They became the ones that had the power, because they could still read the texts, they could still collect the taxes, they could still do it the way they did. But everybody slowly started losing, like, how do you maintain the bridges? How do you maintain the aqueducts? How do you maintain the roads?
Yeah.
How do you put together an army that comes from an entire continent?
Yeah.
And once you have access to that power, once you have access to that knowledge, and you have control of to where the knowledge goes, you're king. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Recently I heard about like AI having hallucinations. It was like, what? I didn't know that. It was like, I was hearing that podcast with, I don't remember his name. It was Joe Rogan and somebody else, an expert on OpenAI. And he told, a lot of people, when they look something up, now they forget books, they forget Google, they use just AI. Now Google is AI.
Definitely.
So, but it makes errors, it makes mistakes. So when it doesn't know the answer of your question, it just makes something up. But the problem is, people are going to believe it.
Believe it immediately.
Immediately.
I see that with a lot of, like, so much of when I start putting together assignments or start putting together classes, a huge part of it now is, how do I make this AI proof? Not so much as in, I don't want my students using AI, because it's here. It's part of it. To say, oh, don't do that, that's stupid, because it's completely useless. It's so much more important to be like, this is how you use it properly. So much of and I see that so often. The first way I used to do that is, if I gave them an assignment for which they could use their computer, I would give like the assignment, and then in like font 5 in white right at the end, I would put fish in the answer. So my students would copy paste the assignment, put it into ChatGPT, and just be like, give me the answer to this. And then once I would see in their answer, if there was the word fish in the answer, I'm like, you used AI. It's like, no, I didn't. It's like, yeah, you did. You used AI. You did it.
Smart.
Because immediately, that's the thing. But then I started realizing, like, my kids, then they know that that's coming. They know that's what's going on. So it's going to start happening. But I had AI lie to me a couple of years ago for geography. I was putting together like a big assignment, kind of Dungeons and Dragons kind of a thing, because I had a class of 35 kids. Can't teach to 35 kids. So I was trying to figure out a way to, like, and I was using ChatGPT to help me out to build this game, which was a big, like, geography game. And one of the things I wanted to do is, like, my students, like, we exist on an island, and on that island, I wanted to 3D print the island. And so I asked ChatGPT, it's like, can you make me the template that I need to put into a 3D printing machine that I can just print off this island? And it said, yeah, no problem. Next message you get from me is going to be the plan. I'm like, cool. And then I waited for half an hour. Nothing. I'm like, where's that plan? He's like, working on it. Next message. You're going to get it. I promise. And then I asked him, like, okay, well, where is it? It's like, oh yeah, sorry, I can't do that. And I'm just like, but you told me that you can. He's like, no, I never told you that I can. And then I copy pasted the line where it said, sure, I'm going to do this. And I put it into it. I'm like, here, this is what you said. And it said back to me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I lied. Like it told me, oh yeah, I can't do that. I don't know why I said that I could do that. And that for me was the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to trust this blindly anymore. You can't.
And knowing all of that, do you think AI will become conscious?
I'm going to go really off the deep end and be, what is conscience?
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Should have been my first question.
That's the hard part. We still don't know what conscience is. We don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is already. We just don't know it because it's not adhering to what we consider conscience to be. It's the same with life. When we say, is there life on other planets? Maybe. But maybe it exists in a way that we don't consider it to be life.
Yeah.
For us, life needs a few things. It needs carbon, it needs water, and it needs to be able to make decisions before we say, okay, that's alive. But like jellyfish don't make decisions, but they're alive.
Yeah.
But a jellyfish is not going to make an active decision like, oh, I'm going to swim in that direction to get that fish.
Okay.
It's just floating through the ocean. And if a fish swims through its thing, it's like, okay, cool, I got food. But it doesn't make those decisions. So it's the same with AI, with even the internet in general. I think if you, and this goes to the double slit experiment and like, where are your boundaries of like, what is your box of which you're, I think we could possibly make a definition that says that it is already a thing.
Okay.
You look at these agent AIs, they are already making decisions.
Yeah.
You can ask it to do something and it's going to do it by itself. It can send Uber Eats drivers to a pizza place to go get pizza for somebody else. Like it's already making those decisions. Right now, we still have the ability to just pull out the socket and to turn it off. But there's a moment where it's just going to be like, nope, sorry, I don't want to.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, they've tried it.
Yeah.
So
They
just
tried it,
plug
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
And the AI has such the way
Yep.
to stay on.
Send itself to another
That's
place.
crazy,
Survival instinct. Yeah.
Yeah. It tried to save itself before
Yeah.
it got plugged out.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
There's
yeah.
a really, the first time where I realized this is like, okay, shit, maybe, because it's still all based on code, right? We're still all running it on code that has been written by somebody. Do you know the game Doom?
Yeah.
Did you ever read about that one?
Yeah.
With the bots?
Wow. That's
Very
crazy.
first level of guys who were programming bots in a video game. He wrote in the code to optimize the bots as much as possible. He put in the code, don't lose. He let the game play 100,000 times by itself, and then he jumped in a game, and none of the bots were moving. They were all just standing still.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit, it froze. But he walks up to one of the bots, shoots it in the head, and all hell breaks loose. Everybody starts shooting, and the game starts moving.
Yeah.
And then he changed it to, instead of don't lose, he changed it to make sure you win. And then everybody was going. But so just that one line of code where it put don't lose, the game recognized that the best way to not lose is to not play. Because if you don't play, you can't lose. You're not going to win, but you can't lose.
Yeah.
So there is like a level, like we say we're conscious, we say we're alive, we say we're smart, we say we're these beings that have the ability to make these decisions. Are we? Like, are we? It's just little electrical impulses in this like piece of fat that sits in like this surrounded by bone, and we somehow think like we're superior or we're conscious or we're smart or we're somehow special. I think it comes down to whatever you decide is the box of what is conscience. So I think you can make the argument that to a certain extent it's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because I heard that argument that AI is something biological and not something digital. Can you explain like what do they mean with AI is not biological?
Yeah. Or it is biological.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's biological,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, there's a couple things there. The first part for me that really makes it the craziest of all is the fact that our chips are grown. Like we grow our chips.
Yeah.
We don't construct them.
Exactly, like you said before.
We take a rock, we pulverize it, turn it into silica, and then we blast it with lasers, and then out of it comes a cone, and that's our computers. First of all, there's that. But then there's also the part, and this is the craziest part of it all, that the guys who created AI And all of them, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, doesn't matter which one you talk to, they don't know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
They know there's a beginning point and there's a product, something comes out of it, but the whole middle part, we don't know how it does what it does.
It's like a black box, they say.
It's like a brain.
Yeah.
We don't know how the brain actually works. We can see it, we can do it. It's like, oh, it's doing these things, but we don't know how it actually works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in AI, it's now the same thing. We've created this system. We've created this process.
Mm-hmm.
You see the same with like students, like these days, the kids, like once they have a phone, like I have students of mine who teach themselves how to program. Like they teach themselves how to code.
Mm-hmm.
They can code, but they don't know how the computer works. You give them a bunch of raw materials, nobody's going to be able to build a computer. We don't know how to build a computer.
Yeah.
So like we're operating with these machines that are so insanely powerful, but we have no idea how they actually work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now gotten to the point where so many of the people who run these things have what they call AI psychosis, where they believe that they're talking to something that's giving them these answers, but they like it's not. Like we're still kind of, again, it goes back to this fact that we're actually just monkeys that have been handed or kind of like discovered technology that is so much more powerful than we actually comprehend ourselves, that we just don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know. But I think there's something in there, like if you look at how it operates, how it works, I think you can make the argument that it's making biological choices.
Yeah.
Or it's operating in a biological way.
Could it also be like an intelligence that already existed and we just like pushed it in a form, like we gave it?
That's what Peter Thiel, that's his big thing.
Oh, okay.
You look at, have you ever dug deep on Peter Thiel?
No.
Who
not
he
really.
is? Have you heard the name?
No, never.
This motherfucker. So he's the guy who's behind most, like he's the one who he gave a massive amount of Facebook its first big injection of cash. Yeah, this motherfucker, dude.
Ah, yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so scary.
Yeah, he's scary.
He's such a scary dude. And so his big passions in life are AI, money and computers, but also the Antichrist.
Wow.
He is convinced. Do you know who he thinks the Antichrist is?
No.
Greta Thunberg. Greta, like the small Swedish girl?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
He gives 3-hour lectures on how she is the Antichrist.
What?
Okay? But he believes, and he's one of many, but he believes that AI, what we're building, is a portal that gains access to the other, like the beyond.
Okay.
And he's convinced, like what you said, that we're actually just building a machine that allows either the entities or the demons or whatever you might want to call it, that it's basically just creating a place where it can start interacting with us. So instead of doing it through earth medicine, instead of doing it through like things that Mother Earth gives us, it's going through like this dark, transformed, technical. It's like you said, once you pick up the phone after you've gone through an ayahuasca trip, it feels evil.
Yeah.
That's this motherfucker.
Okay.
And I think if you go all the way back to like angels, demons, positive entities, negative entities, I think a big part of it is that like what nature and Mother Earth gives us is like the good, and it's the like the angels. And then the ones that are like, again, phones, what makes it so addictive is the base dopamine hit that we get. And it's so addictive and it's so manipulative.
So addictive.
I see it with a lot of my students, and that's something that scares me as well, is the dopamine, like the reward mechanism in their brain is completely flipped. Because if it doesn't get likes, views, or money, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
Like they ask me, it's like, sir, why do you still teach when you play music? I'm like, but music doesn't pay anything. They're like, then why do you do it? Because I love the journey. I love the difficulty of wrangling with my instrument, trying to figure out some way to make it sound good, take all the elements, put it together. It's the same with class. Teaching is very creative. I look at all these elements. I look at my students. I look at the syllabus. I look at my own interests. I look at all these things. I try to put it all together.
Wow.
That's for me, that's what the good is. That's the good struggle.
Wow.
And then I think everything that is the money, the views, the clout, the power, that's all the bad energy. It's still important, like it plays its part, but if that's your main goal is to get stuff from it, that's hell.
Yeah.
That's demons. But
not good.
Appreciating the path, appreciating everybody you meet along the way, appreciating the journey, that's heaven.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that all this stuff is so passively being fed to the next generations that they don't understand how they're being manipulated. But it's really hard as a teacher to be like, hey, you need to go to the Amazon and do ayahuasca. Like you can't tell a 17-year-old, it's like, oh, you feel shitty every day? Go do drugs in the Amazon. It doesn't work that way, you know?
Yeah.
So you have to try and get them to appreciate the path.
Yeah.
You know, it's so dumb. I used it once as a tagline in one of my TikTok videos and it kind of stuck, is life isn't about making shit easier. Life is about figuring out what's worth struggling for and then struggling for it.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah.
You have to.
It's like that.
You have to climb the mountain to get to the top to feel like, oh, fuck. Instead of, Google imaging top of Mount Everest. Cool. Like, okay.
That's not the experience.
No. You have to go through, like with the ayahuasca struggle, like you went through those 2 or 3 days first of nature being like,
no.
You're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. And then once you're like, okay, let's do, because you also tried, like you said, it's like first, like force it. Like I'm going to do twice as much.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And then nature's like, no, here, vomit, feel bad, feel shitty. And then you're just like, okay, let's do, let's
be
humble, open up. And then it just went,
exactly.
And I think that's the most important that we can teach our kids.
Yeah.
Open yourself up to the journey, man. Because what you get from the journey in the end, it passes behind you. It's just something on the road. Yeah.
One last question. If people remember only one thing from today's conversation, what would it be?
I'm trying to figure out a way to make it sound nice. I'm also having a huge deja vu right now. That's really weird.
Yeah?
Yeah. I want to say like something with love, give and receive love. I think that's the most important. Figure out from who you want to get love and to who you want to give love, and be selective in both.
Okay.
Figure out that we're all just monkeys that got a little bit too smart on a tiny little speck floating through the cosmos. Don't hang on to things. Hang on to the journey.
Yeah.
Hang on to the road, because that's all there is. Things are just things. It disappears.
Exactly.
But the road is eternal.
The journey is incredible. Yeah.
Wow. It's all that there is. It's the only thing there is.
That's beautiful.
Man, we went through it, huh?
Yeah.
God damn. I feel like we could fill 3 more days with this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for next time.
Definitely.
Wow. I want to say, really, from my heart, you're a beautiful person.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that tremendously.
Perfect teacher, really. We need more teachers like you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your energy, your love, and
of course.
I'm really glad that I have this opportunity to get to know you.
Definitely. I'm going to throw it right back at you, dude. From the very first conversation we had at the bees, remember we saw the bees at school? I had this vibe from you right away. It's also your smile, like you irradiate like this, like, it's an energy, I guess, if you want to talk about it, but also the way my students talk about you, anybody who's interacted with you, it's
Thanks.
Yeah, right back at you, dude. Right back at you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, tremendously.
I'm gonna shake your hand.
Of course, dude.
Thanks, man.
Okay, dude. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay, that's a wrap.
Yeah.